Have a holly jolly Christmas. XOXO, Gossip Girl.
Hi guys, it's
Lauren Daisy.
Welcome back to my channel and Merry Christmas everyone. Yes, my Christmas jumper is better than yours. I'm sorry. Just is what it is, baby. It just is what it is. I wanted to do a Christmassy video. I'll be honest with you guys, I had a bunch more planned for this week. I've been trying. I used to do the 12 days of Christmas and I loved it so much. Last year I was just too busy, and this year again I've just been too busy. Things have just been too chaotic and I haven't been able to get it done, which I'm so sad about. But next year, I'm telling you, next year it's coming back with a vengeance. But I actually was supposed to post this video last year. Okay, roll that clip. Today is a video that I'm not even kidding, I have been working on since last Christmas, because I was going to make this video last Christmas. I came up with the idea. I think there's some kind of law here. I think there is some kind of teen drama actor to Hallmark movie pipeline. So yeah, I was supposed to film and post this video last year. I didn't even get it filmed. The clip you just saw, I filmed for maybe 30 minutes and then I had too much going on. It was way too busy. So that had to be shelved. Then we're coming around to this year, and because the nature of this video, there was more movies to put on this list and there was more things to talk about, so I had to watch so many more movies, and then again, time just ran away from me and it is Christmas Eve. I wish I could have posted this earlier, but this is just how things be, so it's okay. But yes, today I'm so excited to be filming this video because I have literally been planning this video, like I said, last year. I had the idea for it the year before, but after Christmas had already happened, so I was like, right, next year it's going to be in. Next year it wasn't in. This year I was like, it's happening this year. So today we are talking about the teen drama to Hallmark Christmas movie pipeline. Let me tell you something. In the UK, we don't really have anything like this. We don't have anything like Hallmark where they just make these TV movies all the time, but especially at Christmas, they go all out at Christmas. We just don't have that. We just watch the classics. We have our Love Actuallys, you know, everyone watches Home Alone. You kind of have the classic movies that you sit and watch with your parents, but they are not airing new Christmas movies every single day in the lead up to Christmas in the UK. So I was like, this is right up my street because I bloody love Christmas. I also love me a Christmas movie. I love me a like cheesy, terrible TV movie in general. And then when you put the stars of my favorite teen dramas in there, come on now, that's actually insane. It was made for me. Look at my Christmas nails. Aren't they just so freaking precious? I love them. I love them so much. Aren't they so freaking cute? In the preparation for this video, I watched 56 Hallmark movies. And bear in mind, I did this in the lead up to Christmas, okay? So this is not like, oh, I watched one Hallmark movie a week for the year. Like, that would have been like 52. No, I was watching these like back to back to back to back. I couldn't even letterbox them. I was watching them that quickly. So I put in the work for this video, so please watch it, please like, please subscribe, please comment down below what is your favorite Hallmark movie, even if it's not on this list. So the shows that we're going to be looking at today are 90210, Desperate Housewives, even though it's not technically a teen drama, but I do talk about Desperate Housewives on this channel, Gossip Girl, One Tree Hill, Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale, The Vampire Diaries, and then we do have a little bit of a miscellaneous section, but we're going to be going through all of these shows and the actors from these shows that have been in these movies. There is also a high possibility that I missed some movies because oh my gosh, I just kept finding more of them. It was literally insane. So in 2023 alone, Hallmark made 42 Christmas movies that were released from October to December. Then it went down to 32 in 2024. And then this year for 2025, we had 24 Christmas movies, but also 6 Christmas TV series as well. So they were pumping out the content and I'm here for it. And I'm also going to do a video about they have other, like, they do other movies. They do Valentine's, they do summer, they do Thanksgiving. Like, don't worry, your girl's gonna lock in. But today we're just talking about Christmas. There are 72 movies on this list. I ended up watching 56 of them, which, I'll be honest with you, I think is a pretty good feat. I think I did pretty good. Now, I am also including Lifetime movies because I feel like they have a very similar vibe to the Hallmark movies. They're basically, you know, it's a similar premise, it's all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to include those as well because there is a lot of crossover between the actors. So we are going to talk about Lifetime movies today. What we are not going to talk about today is Great American Family, Christmas movies, or movies of any kind, to be honest. Just because Candice Burr, who is like, I don't even know what she is. She's like president or some shit. I don't even know what she is of Great American Family, but she basically came out and was talking about, you know, traditional values, and was basically saying that there was never going to be an LGBT story or movie in Great American Family shows. And I think that's just utterly ridiculous. So we're not doing any Great American Family today. Okay. I'm not saying that Hallmark is a saint about this kind of stuff either. It has been a long time coming. They released their first LGBT movie in 2022, which was called The Holiday Sitter. And Jonathan Bennett, I think his name is, from Aaron Samuel from Mean Girls. He has been in quite a lot of Hallmark movies, and obviously he's, you know, openly gay and stuff. So he had been in some of their movies before, but playing, you know, straight roles. And then he, you know, was in their first LGBT movie, which is pretty cool. I think they've had a couple since then, I think. Lifetime is way better with stuff like this. So yeah, I'm not saying it's perfect, but they've also never come out and said, we hate the gays. So, you know, Great American Family, not today. I also have included some like Freevee, which is Prime, like Prime Original and Netflix Original Christmas movies. But they are a lot more polished, I think. They don't have that same like TV movie feel. So they weren't a high priority on my list of watching, and will probably not speak in depth about them, but I still wanted to include them anyway. But yeah, today the main focus is Hallmark and Lifetime. And we're also going to do a roundup at the end. So we're going to do a kind of Hallmark Wrapped where we talk about you know, how many shows had the most movies, plots that showed up the most, actors that showed up the most, you know, like conflicts that we saw the most, a whole little, I've done little pie charts and everything. It's going to be a slay. It's going to be so good. I'm also going to be rating every movie that I saw and then basically telling you if I think it's worth it. And at the end, I'm also going to tell you my top 15 favourite ones out of all the movies that I watched. So we're going to go in alphabetical order, which means that we are starting with 90210. I don't talk about 90210 enough on this channel. I bloody love 90210. Okay, if you haven't seen 90210, you need to see 90210. Oh, such an underrated teen drama. Like, such an underrated, you know, mid-2000s teen drama. So good. So, first up we have Shanae Grimes-Beach, and she played Annie Wilson in 90210. I adore her. She doesn't do as much acting these days, but she's, like, real active on social media, and she posts, like, fashion videos, and I just love her. So, she did a total of, well, so far, she's done a total of 3 Christmas movies, all for Hallmark. Christmas Incorporated, she played a girl called Riley. This guy had seen somebody else's CV, basically. But then she went in for the interview. He thought it was her CV and thought she had all this experience and hired her. And then because she wanted the job so bad, she kind of didn't say no. That's the gist. And so he is the boss in this movie. He's played by Steve Lund. And I think he's called William. I'll be honest, I wasn't huge on this one. They go to try and save this failing toy factory, which, oh, we're going to talk about that. We have a lot of these kinds of stories. Yeah, I gave this a 4 out of 10. I don't know. I did think it was funny in the beginning. They kind of show a montage of her going through all these different job interviews, and those were super relatable. I did find that funny. And I found Riley as a character to be super likable, but I didn't love William. in this, to be honest. And I don't think that's Steve Lund's fault, because we're going to talk about him again in a different movie, and I did quite like him in that. But I feel like I don't know. It was all just a bit weird. Like, it's one of those where the situation with the whole CV switching just was not that deep. Like, it actually just was not that deep. So when they have this huge, like, big dramatic reveal and, like, conflict over it, it's just like, come on. This is not that deep, actually. They literally act like she was trying to commit identity fraud. It's just, yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. I wasn't huge on this one. I gave it a 4 out of 10. On IMDb, it has a 6.4 out of 10 and a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, yeah. I guess people like this one more than I did. I'm sorry. It just wasn't for me. I wouldn't rewatch it. I would say anything less than a 5... Honestly, maybe anything less than a 6, I wouldn't rewatch it again. So she did that in 2015, and then she came back 7 years later and did When I Think of Christmas. And this starred Niall Matter across from her, and I do really like him. He is in another one that we're going to talk about as well. And I think he's really good. Also, it's fun because he was actually in 90210 as one of Silver's boyfriends at one point. And he had, you know, a storyline in 90210 with Adriana, who's played by Jessica Lowndes, and she's a Hallmark queen. We're going to talk about her later as well. So the gist is that Sarah reunites with her ex-boyfriend Josh when she returns to her hometown to help her mother move. When Sarah makes a surprising discovery, she and Josh forge a bold plan for an upcoming Christmas concert that takes them back to their musical roots. So this is kind of like a singy one. None of them are ever musicals, but you do find there is a bit of singing sometimes. I thought Shanae looked so stunning in this movie. It was actually insane. I also loved the fact that we had, you know, bitter exes. Like, that's fun. I liked that element of it. We also had a romance with some old people, which I love that. An oldie romance, that'll get me every time. Yeah, like I said, I really like Niall. I think he's probably one of my favourite actors, like kind of Hallmark actors that we see. And also the kiss was really good in this movie. We're going to talk about it, but basically you get one kiss in a Hallmark movie and it is at the end. And it is make or break. And this one was good. I don't know, I got quite invested in this one. I liked the message of, you know, following your dreams and living your life for you and not other people. You know, I liked it. I give this one a 7 out of 10, whereas IMDb gave it on IMDb, it has a 5.8 out of 10 and a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I thought was so harsh. And I also thought this was way better than Christmas Incorporated. So then lastly, in 2023, she did Time for Her to Come Home for Christmas, and this starred Chris Carmack. Love him. I know him from Grey's Anatomy, but I think he was also in One Tree Hill or The OC. I think he was in a teen drama himself, but I know him from Grey's. And so I had high hopes for him coming into this movie. I was like, this is going to be a good leading man. Carly heads to a quaint town to lead the church choir during Christmas time. As she gets to know an army veteran and the townspeople, she stumbles across clues that suggest she may have been brought back here for a life-changing reason. Again, I thought Shanae looked so gorgeous. She was slaying as always. I'm not huge on the music-centered ones, I can't lie. They're just not really for me, so it already had a bit of a setback. I'm also not religious. Like, no judgment, but just me personally, I'm not religious, so I feel like I just was not the target demographic for this at all. But I liked the kind of like twist and the surprise, you know, as to why she's connected to this town. I thought, I did guess it, to be honest with you. I did guess it, but I still liked it. And I thought it was cute, but I wasn't entirely into it. I liked the couple a lot. Like, I really liked the pairing of Shanae and Chris together. I thought they were great. I would love to see them do another movie together. And it did get quite emotional in parts. I don't think I cried at this one. I've cried at some of them though. We're going to get into that. So yeah, I only ended up giving this one a 6 out of 10. On IMDb, it has a 6.6 out of 10, which I think is probably fair. And yeah, 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. Next up, we have Annalyn McCord. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. She, of course, played Naomi Clark in 90210. So unbelievably iconic. So unbelievably iconic. So she has done 3 Christmas movies. Only one of hers is Hallmark, and that's the first one. The second 2 are both Lifetime movies, I believe. So first up in 2014, so kind of just-ish after she'd finished 90210, she did The Christmas Parade. So she played Haley, who is a reporter that finds out her fiance is a cheat. That was crazy. Heartbroken, she drives to Carver Bend. The names of these towns are so utterly ridiculous. Where she does community service after committing an offence and learns the true spirit of Christmas. The summary of this one sounds absolutely bonkers. It's not as bonkers as it sounds from the summary. The lead in this one was Jefferson Brown. This was the only time that I saw him. And he's called Beck in this movie. I feel like for me, this one started off with a bang. I was like, oh, okay, I'm invested in this story. Like, yeah, she finds out her fiance's cheating on her. Her fiance is a property brother, by the way. Didn't know they did any acting, but there he is. She literally finds out live on air. She was giving Naomi Clark energy in this as well. I absolutely loved it. Every time I see Annalyn McCord, I actually cannot get over how gorgeous her hair is. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then we started to go downhill. Yeah, the community service plot line was probably, one of the wildest that we'd had. She crashes into a fence, essentially, and has to do community service, and she ends up helping Beck with his, charity Christmas float thing for the parade. I'll be honest, this one was kind of boring to me. And I don't know why, the acting wasn't bad, the acting was good, the plot wasn't bad, I felt like it was, it had interesting potential, but I just found it a little boring, I don't know why. Also, it made me laugh so much. There's this part, so obviously she crashes into this fence, right? And part of her deal to not go to jail is that she has to fix the fence, which are fair dues, but she... imagine court ordering this lady, Haley, to fix your fence, and she makes you this, her and Beck make this monstrosity of a Christmas tree out of the broken fence pieces. So rather than building her a fence, they built her this fucking awful Christmas tree. I was literally like, oh my god. And some of the Hallmark, they love a classic, well, they're Lifetime as well, love a classic montage scene, a bit of music, but it was so awkward. The one they did in this one was so awkward.
What? Sorry, did you? I think I missed some down here.
And some of the dialogue as well. There's one part towards the end where they just recap the entire movie. They literally just show flashbacks of the entire film as if you haven't just sat and watched it. It was so bizarre. But the actual vibes of the Christmas parade, I loved. It was big, traditional Christmas. Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun. And there was also a corrupt mayor. There was so much drama in this. I thought the kiss was good in this one, but it was weirdly shot. The angle and the way that they filmed it was a bit strange, but overall I think it was fine. I don't know. I gave this one a 6 out of 10 because there were parts where I was like, I'm invested in this. This is good shit. And then there were other parts where I was like, this is so boring. This is so badly filmed. It was a roller coaster. That's what it was. It was a roller coaster. It was one thing after another. So I gave this a 6 out of 10. IMDb agreed because it got a 5.9 out of 10. And it got a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, which honestly is not that bad. I was expecting it to have had lower. So I just wanted to give a little honourable mention. This is not part of the official list. It's not on, in the pictures or anything, but she did do a movie called Santa's Little Helper in 2015. And I wanted to give it a special shout out because it is a WWE Studios movie. And it was starring The Miz and Paige. Those were the superstars that were in it, and I just thought that was such a funny multiverse of madness moment for me personally. So then back to the official list, we have Feliz Navidad, but I think it was also called Father Christmas Finds Love. Doesn't make any sense because he doesn't play Santa, but anyway. This was in 2020. This is a Lifetime one. And Mario Lopez is the main star of this. I feel like for a lot of these, the actual actress that I'm talking about is the main star. But for this one, it's no, Mario Lopez, he's the star. And so it's about David, a single dad who matches with a musician named Sophie on a dating app. Later, they both agreed to go on a date since Sophie is only visiting town for the holidays. And I liked that we were getting more diversity in this one. I actually thought Mario Lopez, I'll be honest, he's not that famous over here. I think he's quite famous in the US. I'm not entirely sure. I thought he was great. I thought he was a really good lead actor. Noelle, who was the daughter, she was by far my favourite character. I thought the chemistry between Mario and Anna Lim was really good. Also, they got Melissa Joan Hart is in this for like 2 minutes. I don't know how they got her to do that, but anyway. Then the daughter has like a performance and sings at the end, which was really, really cute. And like obviously Sophie, you know, kind of like coaches her and helps her, and I love that. I thought that was so sweet. I thought I liked this one. I would rewatch it. On IMDb it got 6 out of 10, but Rotten Tomatoes it got 13%. 13% Rotten. And I thought that 13% was way harsh for this. I thought it was really wholesome. I thought it was a fun change from the other movies that I'd seen. You know, at this point I'd seen a lot of them, so I was happy for a little, you know, spice it up a little. And yeah, I liked it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Then we had Dancing Through Christmas, or it's also called Dancing Through the Snow. And this one had Colin Lawrence in it. So again, we love that. This is one of our only male POC lead characters, I think. I think there's maybe one other where the lead, like the romantic lead, is a black man. I think there's literally only 2 in this lineup, maybe 3, but yeah. So I was like, again, you gotta go to like Lifetime to get the diversity. I think also I will acknowledge there is a sway, because I mean, I'm going to talk about this again in like the Hallmark Wrapped when we talk about diversity and things within these movies, but obviously I understand there is a sway because a lot of the shows that I'm talking about, the cast is predominantly white, so therefore I am searching for movies where at least the lead character is pretty much always going to be white, so I understand that as well. But yeah, I thought that was great. I thought he was really good. I thought he was great in this movie. So it's about a widower called Michael who slowly begins to fall in love with Olivia, who is his daughter Lily's dance teacher. However, chaos ensues when Lily shows signs of discontent with the relationship. I really liked the concept of this movie. You know, the single dad and then like struggling, the daughter struggling with the new relationship. Like I thought that was a really interesting approach to take. And again, not one that we really see in these kinds of movies. And I thought the dad was super likable. I thought Michael was a great character. I thought his bond with his daughter was really sweet. He was a firefighter as well, like firefighter ballet teacher. I thought that was a fun combo. But honestly, this movie was so badly made, it was crazy. Like, the camera angles in this movie were so bizarre. And the kiss at the end was absolutely horrific. It was atrocious. It literally made me want to like, ugh, inside. I really loved the father-daughter bond and like the discussion around grief and all that stuff. I found that way more interesting than the romance. So then the romance parts I just wasn't that invested in. So I ended up giving it a 5 out of 10. And IMDb also gave it a 5.4 out of 10. So seemed about fair. Next up we have Jessica Lowndes. Love her. Love her. Obviously she played Adriana Tate Duncan in 90210. Iconic. Absolutely iconic. So she, let me tell you something. She is a Christmas movie queen. She is, well, to be fair, she's a Hallmark and Lifetime movie queen across the board, because she's done more than just Christmas movies. But yeah, she, I think, may have done the most of anyone we're going to talk about today. And I love her for it because I think she is so good in these movies. So her first ever one was Hallmark. It was called Merry Matrimony. And it's about a Christmas wedding photo shoot that brings advertising executive Brie in contact with her ex-boyfriend Eddie, who is a photographer. And this stars Christopher Russell as Eddie. There was a kiss just as the movie began, which I was like, that's crazy. We don't do this in Hallmark movies. I gotta be real with you guys, this one boring as hell. This may have been the worst one that I saw. This may have been the worst one that I watched. I don't mean any disrespect to Chris. Sorry, King. But he just wasn't giving leading guy to me, and I just didn't find him to be likable. I'm not opposed to an exes reunited story. I can be there for it. I quite liked it. But this one, I just was not invested in it at all. The drama was just miscommunication. Like, she thought he was with someone else, and it was just, it was one of those. And the way they were both acting, like the way they were both interacting with each other was so frustrating. And I don't know, everything just felt boring and everything felt so forced. And I don't know. I know these movies don't have huge budgets, but the continuity and like the reality of this film is all over the place. I mean, I'm going to spoil it for you because literally don't watch it. But she believes he's engaged to somebody else, then finds out that he's not, then gets engaged to him. No lie, like that all happens within 30 minutes. That literally all happens, like, and I'm not talking about 30 minutes within the film. I'm talking about, like, in the film's runtime, I'm talking about 30 minutes in their time. Like, one thing after another. She thinks he's engaged, then she, like, 5 minutes later finds out that he's not engaged, then she gets engaged to him. Like, how did that, what? Despite the fact they have not been a couple for years at this point. And then they get married immediately, like the next day. And I was like, who even are these wedding guests? Like, all the people that are there, it's like, you haven't spoken to anyone. You don't know anybody here. These are kids from the photo shoot, and then there's suddenly a cake there. And, like, she's wearing a wedding dress from where? Like, there are wedding dresses ready for these photo shoots, and it's not even one of those. Like, at least that would have been like, oh, we just used what we had. No, this is like a new wedding. Even though that stuff shouldn't bother me, it really does. Like, there is a lot higher quality of these movies out there. This is just bad. I'm sorry. I love you, girl, but this is just bad. And there was like a whole picture montage. The whole thing was just awful. And yeah, this was not the first Jessica film I watched. This was like a few in. So I already liked a lot of her films. So this shocked me. And I gave this a 2 out of 10. I think it may be the lowest rated one that we have. IMDb gave it a 5.7 out of 10. And it was at 28% rotten. I don't know how. Like, the fact that this got a higher rating than Feliz Navidad. Please. It's actually disrespectful. Next up, we have A December Bride. She did this one in 2016. And it is Layla somehow gets involved in a fake engagement. I was already hooked. As soon as I saw fake engagement, I was already hooked. With her former fiance's friend at her cousin's wedding. But as the odd couple spend more time together, they start to feel a real connection. This has, I think he's called Daniel Lissing. I hope I'm saying that right, in it. Again, we're going to talk about him more. I liked him. I think he's a good Hallmark actor.
What have you done?
I may have taken things a little too far.
This was such a wild premise for a Hallmark movie, because this was Hallmark. I was like, this is so wild for them. They don't usually do storylines like this. I was not able to predict anything that was going to happen in this movie, and I can usually predict everything that's going to happen, like beat by beat. I had no idea what was going on in this movie. I hated the cousin. Oh god. She stole Layla's fiance and then is mad at her. It's a whole... I was like, she's the worst, by the way. Then Layla gets fired from her job. She's a house decorator, or like a, when they sell houses, so they like dress them up all nice. Because her boss was... There's like a... Oh good lord. There was like a house decorate, like, for Christmas. I don't even know how to word this. There's basically a competition on the street of which house could be decorated the best for Christmas. And because the boss was decorating one house, Layla then decided to help, what's his name? I don't know what his name is, Daniel Lissing's character, she decided to help him decorate his house. She then got fired by her boss because they were now in competition. The whole thing was so weird. I thought the chemistry between these two was okay. I thought it was, you know, it was fine. It wasn't my favourite of Jessica's pairings, but I liked him as a leading man. I just, you know, I wasn't huge on their actual chemistry in this movie.
What? What do you mean?
Your dentist knows you better than that guy.
I don't know, this movie was so weird. Like, there's this big emphasis on her getting married in December, and they make it seem like she can only get married in December. They're like, this is her only time to be a December bride, like, she needs to get married now. Like, babes, there will be other Decembers. It's okay. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I liked it, but not as much as some of the other ones I'd seen. I thought the premise had more potential, to be honest with you. Like, I loved the whole fake engagement angle. So that's always fun. I felt like it had more to give. So I gave it a 6 out of 10. On IMDb, it has a 6.7 out of 10 and a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's actually ranked 10th on slashfilm.com's 25 best Hallmark movies and ranked 12th on Forbes.com's 25 must-watch Hallmark movies, which I'll be honest, I was surprised because we've had better. Next up in 2017, she was doing these back to back. Love it. Booked and busy. We have Her Magical Christmas, also titled Magical Christmas Ornaments, and Marie, a brilliant editor, goes into depression. It's actually not that deep. Like, it is not depression. But anyway, when her childhood sweetheart leaves her the day before Christmas. However, when she meets Nate, her neighbour, the magic of Christmas brings her love. So this had Brandon Penny. This was the only one that he ever did. And let me tell you something. Like, this is Lifetime, I think, or is this Hallmark? This might also have been Hallmark. They won't cast a POC lead, but they will have a POC best friend every bloody time. Every time the best friend is like Black or Asian, they're like, we don't want to cast you as the lead, but you can be like the fun best friend. It's literally all the fucking time. It's relentless. And this one was set in New York, and I loved the New York Christmas vibes. She also had a dog that was very adorable. In the beginning, I was not feeling the chemistry with these two at all. I was like, I was gearing myself up for this to be another 2 out of 10 potentially. But I thought it was so cute. She gets gifted an ornament, like her mum sends her a Christmas ornament every day to put on her tree to try and get her back in the Christmas spirit. And they're all Hallmark ornaments, which I thought was really cute because obviously it's a Hallmark movie.
Santa must like you.
Oh, Santa's my mom.
Cool.
No, not literally. Like, she sent me presents. How long have you been standing here?
I also loved that she hated her ex with her whole soul. Like, I love that. Like, usually in these movies, everyone is too nice. The leads are always too nice. Like in the one we just talked about. The cousin, everyone in that bloody movie was insufferable, and yet everyone is still nice to them. Not this time. The ex, she truly hated him, and I loved that. The fake out kisses in these movies absolutely kill me, because it's like, why can't we have more than one kiss? And then we do the fake out kiss every time. I did not buy it at first, but I was invested. I saw the vision. Like, I was in it. Like, maybe 30 minutes in, I was locked in, I saw the vision, I was there. And the ex in this was such a villain. Like, usually there's a bit of conflict or something, but there's not usually a villain in these movies, do you know what I mean? It's more just circumstance, or there's a misunderstanding, or there's whatever. But no, this one was a full-on villain. I hated him. Getting, his comeuppance, I loved that. It was great. I've written here, Leslie is giving pick-me-girl best friend. Can't lie. I don't know what that means. I don't remember who Leslie is. Sorry to her, I guess. Also, he's a doctor, I think. Or, like, volunteers at a hospital. I'm trying to remember it now. And she, like, goes in to see him and, like, see the kids and stuff. And it's cute. Like, the way she is with the kids, it's all cute. It's very Christmassy. There's this one little girl in there, which she's adorable, but they talk about her like she's terminally ill. The way that they act around her and the way that they speak about her, they're like, it's so sad. Like, she's in here at Christmas, and like, they literally talk about her like she's terminally ill. She's got a broken leg. That's it. Her leg is broken. That's it. And the way they talk about her is so funny. It's like, guys, the dramatics, please. Honestly, I love this one. I thought it was great. I would rewatch it. You know, it kind of had everything. It had a great romance. It also had a really great like career subplot, like with her being a book editor and wanting to start her own publishing company and all this stuff. I was really invested. I was like, she's great. She's a great main character. There was good character development. IMDb gave it a 6.3 out of 10, but I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was great. I would 100% rewatch this. Okay. I've just had flashbacks of this one. This one I actually think is worse than Merry Matrimony. Do you know what? I'm not sure. They may be neck and neck. I don't know I just did not get on board with this one. I thought it was so boring. So this is called Christmas at Pemberley Manor. It came out 2018. And Elizabeth, an event planner, arrives in a small village, classic, to organise their Christmas festival at a reluctant Darcy's historic manor. The duo falls in love as they strive to make the event a success. And this was starring Michael Rady, I think is how you say it. I loved Elizabeth's character. Something about Jessica, she makes all of these roles and these lead characters likeable. She just does. Immediately, she's great. It is the men that will let her down. And I'm sorry to Michael. I was not big on Darcy at all. I did not like his character at all. And it's kind of like a play on Pride and Prejudice. Very, very loosely. I was way more invested in the second couple. So we had like a sub couple, Travis and Jane. I was so invested in them. I wanted them to have a kiss. And they didn't get one. We obviously got one between Elizabeth and whatever his name is, Darcy. But I would have been like, scrap that. Travis and Jane. I'm like, these should be the main characters of this story. But anyway, I did not care about the couple at all. I liked Elizabeth as a character. But again, that could just be the Jessica bias because I do love her. But I thought everyone else, obviously aside from Jane and Travis, was unlikable or boring. And I gave it a 2 out of 10 because I was like, it's not even a badly made film. It's just so boring. It's so boring. So yeah, IMDb was a lot kinder. This got a 6.3 out of 10 and a 44% Rotten. And it was ranked 24th on Forbes.com 25 must-watch Hallmark movies and ranked 16th on Variety.com's 25 best Hallmark movies. Literally how? How? Because this movie was shite. I'm sorry, it just was. Okay, then we have Rediscovering Christmas. This was a Lifetime one that she did in 2019. This had BJ Britt as the lead actor. I think this is our second and final time that we get a black male lead. And they're called Adam and Mia. And it's a talented department store window designer. We're going to talk about it in the Wrapped, but they do every career under the sun. Anyway. Helps her sister design the decor for the annual Snowflake Festival Christmas Eve dance. Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful. And clashes with the stubborn grandson of the founders of the festival. This film did also star Jessica Walters, Love, who was in season 1 and maybe season 2, or she might have just been in season 1 of 90210. She was Annie and Dixon's grandma. So initially when I was going to film this video last year, I didn't get around to watching this one. And I said, well, I didn't get to watch this one. After the trailer, I don't think I missed much. It seems to follow a very classic formula of Christmas festival needing to be saved. But from the clips I did see, it seems that Jessica and BJ Britt had good chemistry and the Christmas parade looked cool. And I thought it was cool to see a black leading man because unfortunately we don't get a lot of those. Fast forward to this year. Okay, so I did get to watch this one now and I'm unimpressed. Yeah, I said I love Jessica, but this is 100% one of the weakest. It's not the weakest, but it is one of the weakest. The side character's acting was real bad. There was this part that was so funny to me. She says that she's cold, and then he gives her like his thin ass scarf, and then she's not cold anymore. Like, are you kidding?
Cold?
A little bit,
Here.
Oh,
Better?
much. Thank you.
This was also the first, and I think only time, where the couple gets together, and so do their parents. So it's like her dad was a widower, and then his mum was also a widower, and then they end up dating, as do the children. This is the only time that we saw that. I thought that it ended better than it started, and I liked that she was still going to take her promotion, because so many times in these movies they move to the small town, they stay in the city, they don't take the job offer. But this time she takes the job offer. There's no mention of her moving to live with him. They just decide, like, we're going to be a couple, but we're still going to live our lives. And I liked that. And she's like, I'm staying in the city. Good for her. I give this a 4 out of 10. This was a rough one for me. Like I said, not the worst, but it was a tough watch. I did find this one boring. But IMDb gave it a 5.8 out of 10. It seems to be the general mark. Like, they don't really get... They get, like, between a 5 and a 7. That's kind of what we're looking at here. Okay, so then, moving on to one that I did like. Actually, I love, and that is Too Close for Christmas. This came out in 2020. It was a Lifetime one, and it has Chad Michael Murray, who we are going to talk about later, but I love him, okay? Love him. Don't play about him. That's my man's for real. So I was so excited because there's only a few times in this list where the actors actually cross over from the different shows. So obviously we have Jessica from 90210 and we have Chad Michael Murray from One Tree Hill. So Haley spends Christmas with her sister-in-law, her sister's in-laws, and runs into Paul, who was responsible for her last breakup. However, she starts seeing Paul in a new light after she spends time with him. Like I said, Chad Michael Murray. I loved the Jessica and Chad pairing. I loved it. I want to see them in more movies together. They had such great chemistry. She basically, it's so stupid though, because she blames him for her breakup, but he kind of just gave an observation that he like didn't think they were well matched or something. I can't remember. And so she literally blames him for them breaking up, which it's not really valid at all, but it was fine. I loved the bickering. Yeah, the bickering, the kind of flirty banter between them, it was really good. And listen, these movies can be so predictable. It's like they do Secret Santa. Of course she's going to get him for Secret Santa. Do you know what I mean? But I still love it. I don't care that it's predictable. I still love it.
How do you feel about cinnamon ribs?
Good.
Then we had the ex was bad-mouthing him, and I was like, you actually better not. You better not. Dissing Chad Michael Murray, like, we're gonna have an issue. We're actually gonna have an issue. And then he made, like, this is gonna make no sense in the, like, without seeing the movie, but he made her a clock. It was so cute. The kiss, fabulous. Probably one of the best kisses that I'd seen in my 56 Hallmark movies. One of the best that I'd ever seen.
I was kind of hoping we could make it a tradition.
Which part?
All of it.
I loved this movie. Genuinely loved it. Would 100% watch it again. I gave it 10 out of 10. I thought it was so good. So, yeah. If you're going to watch any, make one of these. Make it what? If you're going to watch any, make this one of them. On IMDb, it got a 5.7 out of 10 and 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I thought was way harsh. I loved this. I thought it was great. Then we had 2 for 2024. She was, again, booked and busy, and I love it. So we had Renovation Romance, which was the second one with Daniel Lissing, and the only time in this list where we had literally the exact same actors twice. So when Chelsea is forced to go to New Hampshire, she finds herself in a precarious situation with her career and relationship. And it's basically, she starts off the movie, her and her boyfriend host a reality show where they renovate people's houses but also give them couples therapy. It's a very bizarre concept. So they go to this couple, and it's basically like a Daniel Lissing is he's the guy in the other couple, and it's like, oh, are we maybe better matched for each other than who we're currently with? At this point, this was the 4th movie I had seen that was based around a reality show, which is not something I thought I would be encountering in these movies, but hey ho. This is probably so toxic. I love one where I can root against an annoying partner, like the person they're already with. When I can root against them to then get with a new person, I'm like, yeah, I'm invested. Also, so classic. These ones that are like centered around TV shows, they always do the classic. They want us to do the show live. That's always. It's always they want us to do the finale live on Christmas Day. Like, we're gonna see many more of those as this list goes on. But yeah, Jessica's such a cutie. I really liked this one. I thought their chemistry was great. Better than it was in the December Bride one. I thought their chemistry in this one was way, way better. And even though I kind of knew how it would end and I kind of could predict what was going to happen, there was still a bit of like tension to it, and like I knew it was going to turn out fine, but as I was watching it I was still thinking, well, hold on now, is she going to say yes to this? Is he going to do this? And it had a good amount of humour to it as well, and yeah, I thought the chemistry was good. I ended up giving it an 8 out of 10 though. I absolutely would watch it again, but yeah, it wasn't one of my favourites, but I still really liked it and I still think it's worth a watch. Whereas IMDb gave it a 5.5 out of 10, which I think is harsh. Then we have her last one so far, and this was Happy Holidays. Love. A meticulous webpage editor, what a weird way to phrase that, for the Seattle Tourism Board finds herself unexpectedly navigating the holidays alone. Like, that tagline literally gives you nothing. What was fun about this one is that the lead opposite her is Ezra Morland, and this is his first ever Hallmark show. So they actually did a show, this is last year because they did season 2 this year, where it was a Hallmark reality show called Finding Mr. Christmas, and they basically go through, it's like a competition style show, and there's like 20 guys that want to be, you know, actors, and they go through, and he ended up winning, which meant that he got to make this Hallmark movie. I think that's such a fun concept. And yeah, like I said, they did season 1, that was last year when he won. I don't know who won this year, but I kind of want to do a little deep dive on the show next year. I don't know, I feel like that would be kind of fun to talk about. So this is a dog movie, which is a fun switch up. It's the only one on this list. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was so cute. The female leads in these movies, and the male leads as well, they can often just feel like the same character, right? Just played by somebody else. But Mia, who was obviously Jessica, the lead in this one, she felt more real to me. I don't know why. She just felt really real and like authentic, and I just really loved her as a lead. I thought her dynamic with the dog that she ends up kind of like reluctantly adopting, called Russell, I thought their little dynamic was hilarious. The way that she like talks to him.
If they can't even share a toy, we don't know what's next. We're lucky we got out when we did. We don't need this drama.
It was also like a completely different setting. Usually it's these, you know, big houses or log cabins, like very suburban vibes, but this one was actually a house on the sea, and it was gorgeous in the way that I just loved all of it. I also thought that Ezra did a great job for this being his first ever movie, like literally ever. Yeah, his character Max, I actually thought was one of my favourite like male characters so far. I thought he was really, really likable. And yeah, I was big into the couple. The dog element of the movie I thought was so cute. It was different from the other ones. They also had like a full-on political statement, which they never do in these movies, about health insurance. I liked this one. Like, you know, this was a very recent in comparison to some of the other ones. Like, a lot of the ones that I'm watching are like older, pre for the gays kind of vibe, so you can definitely tell they're progressing. And also I think the quality of movie is getting better, which is weird. You would have thought maybe in the streaming era or whatever the quality would have gone down, and the older ones you'd be like, oh, they're so classic. But I really liked this. I thought it was really good, and I gave it an 8 out of 10. Again, still absolutely solid. Just one of my favorites. I don't know, maybe I would change this and actually make it a 9 out of 10, like if I was to go back and re-rank it. And I definitely would watch this one again. But IMDb only gave it a 5.7. Then we have Dustin Milligan. He played Ethan in 90210. And I feel like, to be fair, now he's probably most known for playing Ted in Schitt's Creek, which, oh my god, I love Schitt's Creek. I love Schitt's Creek so much. He has only been in one, and I actually didn't get around to watching this one because, like I said, the Netflix ones I didn't prioritise. But this is a Netflix original. It's called Hot Frosty, and it came out in 2024. Lacey Chabert? I'm not sure how to say it, but she's the lead opposite him. This is Hallmark royalty right here. Like, obviously she's not included in this, but she was in Mean Girls, so I feel like she's kind of teen drama adjacent. but she's an absolute legend. An absolute legend of the Hallmark world. I think she's done the most Hallmark movies of anybody ever. When widow Kathy magically brings a snowman to life, his innocence helps heal her heart. It got 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb and 79% Rotten, which I think is the highest of any on this list. My friend Miranda, however, did watch this because I was about to watch it and she was watching it at the same time just by coincidence, and she said it was terrible. So I don't think I really missed much with this one. Next we have another heavy hitter, and that is Trevor Donovan. A cheesy TV movie hates to see Trevor Donovan coming. Okay, I'll tell you that for free. So he has 4. And now you're like, that don't seem like that many. He had a lot more. Initially, I did, like when I made this list last year, I did include Great American Family movies without even really realizing it, because I was going through everyone's IMDb's and all the posters just look the same. So anything that was a Christmas title, I just added it to the list. And then when I kind of saw all the stuff about Great American Family, I was like, I had to then go through, find out which ones were Great American Family and take them all out. So he has done a lot more than 4, but he has done them for Great American Family, and he has left Hallmark to join Great American Family, which I don't love. And these are the 4 that he did with Hallmark. First up, we have Marry Me at Christmas. So this was his first one in 2017. While planning an extravagant Christmas wedding, a bridal boutique owner meets the bride's brother. Slowly, the two begin to fall in love. So this is Johnny and Madeline. Madeline was played by Rachel Scarston, I think is how you say it. And Johnny is a Hollywood star, so he's like famous, and you know, he's come to this small town and whatever. And the way that all of the people in this town treat him is actually insufferable. But anyway, I love a wedding. Okay, I love a wedding. So wedding planner, like job, I thought that was super fun. She owns a bridal boutique, but she ends up planning the wedding, so I loved that. Her like best friend is Women in STEM. Love that. STEM, women in STEM.
STEM, women in STEM. STEM, women in STEM. I believe in women in STEM. Look at me, I'm a man and I believe in women in STEM.
This got really sad. Like, there was a point where this actually got really sad and I almost cried. And there was a kid, I think he was like, I can't remember if they were watching Santa, like, interact with the kids, or if Johnny actually ended up being Santa for a day. I can't remember, but the kid wished that his dad would come back because his dad had died, and I was like, wait, this is actually too much. I'm actually gonna cry right now. But then we made it past that. I thought the chemistry between them was good. I actually liked Rachel a lot. I thought she was really likable in this. I'd like to see more of her Hallmark movies. Isabel, I think the best friend, I thought she was such a joke. Every time in these movies, they get wronged by their friends or wronged by someone, and they end up apologizing, and they end up being like, it's Christmas, like I don't want to fight with you. And I'm like, oh my god, yes, fight with them. The whole time I was screaming, I was like, if Maddie forgives her, I'm gonna be so angry. And them getting together at the end was cute, but there was so much conflict. Like, she was fully against being with him for the longest time, like literally until the last second. So I don't know, it didn't hit the same as some of the others. I ended up giving it 4 out of 10, and IMDb gave it a 6.5, so that's like kind of high. It was ranked 4th on Forbes.com's 25 must-watch Hallmark movies, and ranked 6th on Variety's 25 best Hallmark movies. So clearly people really like this one. I'm not going to say I didn't like it, but I don't think I would rewatch it. Then we have Nostalgic Christmas. This came out in 2019, and this was starring Brooke d'Orsay, I think is how you say it. And it was followed Anne and Keith. Anne seems to have it all as a driven toy buyer in New York City, but her father's retirement, signaling the closing of the town's beloved toy store, brings the city girl back to her small town roots. Classic. He is a single dad in this. I liked this one. I thought the toy making like element and all that like woodwork stuff was really fun. I thought Brooke was so likable in this. So I, again, would like to see more of her Hallmark movies. IMDb gave it a 6.3, and I think that's fair. I gave it a 6 out of 10. And then we had USS Christmas. This poster literally makes me crack up. Like, what are you on about? Like, this is nuts.
What are you, nuts?
But anyway, this came out in 2020. Our second Maddie, a reporter for a Norfolk newspaper, embarks on a tiger cruise during Christmas time where she meets a handsome naval officer and stumbles upon a mystery in the ship's archive room. So this starred Jen Lilly as Maddie, and Trevor played Billy. This is one of the first ones I watched because I just wanted to watch it for the crack, like because of the title and the poster. But good lord, it was so boring. Like in the beginning, especially, I was like, this is so boring. But then they like went to New York together, and I thought that was really cute. Like the set and just New York at Christmas, like that's always going to be bonus points.
It's been real, Charlotte. Real fun.
The cringe in this one was high though. The cringe factor was so high. There was also a bit that really made me laugh because they clearly wanted to save money on this actor because I think it was Maddie's sister or something, Charlotte, had a boyfriend, but they clearly didn't want to pay him. Like they only wanted to pay him to be in it, but they didn't want to pay him to speak. So he does not speak the entire time. Even when it's like really awkward and seems like he would say something, he just doesn't.
Have a wonderful Christmas. I'm off to... Bye, Dan.
But yeah, I don't know. I got like weirdly more invested in this one as we went along. So I ended up giving it a 6 out of 10, and IMDb gave it a 6.6 out of 10. But yeah, it was slow in the beginning. It was real boring in the beginning. Then last but not least, we had Nantucket Noel, and this was 2021. Tensions rise when a woman falls for the son of a developer who wants to tear down the wharf that is home to her toy store. You're seeing the theme, okay? You're picking up on the general theme of these movies. And honestly, this one, well, I'd watched him in a lot of them. He's so good in these movies, which makes me so angry. Like, I really wish he hadn't moved to a Great American Family because he's so likable in these movies and he's really, really good in them. Like, the acting is good. He's obviously a very believable male lead and he's very sweet in them. So... It's such a shame. It's such a shame. This one I found to just be pretty run-of-the-mill. You know, there was nothing super noticeable, but there were 2 kisses, which was wild. And they were good. Both of them were good. Especially the first one. The first one was really good.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember.
And I thought the chemistry was really good between them as well. He's a single dad in this. So, like... I'm a sucker for that. So I thought, you know, how she interacted with the daughter was cute. I mean, the drama of like, because his dad's like a real arsehole in this for like most of it. So there was like that kind of conflict. So yeah, I liked this one. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And the lead was played by Sarah Power. So she played Christina and he was Andy in this one. And IMDb also gave it a 6 out of 10. Next up we have Lori Loughlin. And oh, good lord. So I started writing them down. We had North Pole open for Christmas 2015, Every Christmas Has a Story 2016, Homegrown Christmas 2018, and I literally just, there was too many. I literally got bored of seeing her name on the list, and she moved to Great American Family anyway, so we're not talking about her today. Next up, we're moving on to Desperate Housewives. I love Desperate Housewives so much, okay? If you haven't seen Desperate Housewives, make 2026 the year that you watch Desperate Housewives because it is pure gold. There's nothing else to say. In terms of TV, it's God tier. It's God tier TV. It just is. And it's not even, there's no point in me trying to argue the point. Like, it just is. And when you watch it, you'll be like, she was right. She was right. First up, we're going to talk about Terry Hatcher, who, oh wait, I didn't even say, but Trevor Donovan, he played Teddy. He played Teddy Montgomery in 90210. So first up we have Terry Hatcher. She played Susan Meyer, and she has done 3. So she actually is, she's kind of new to the world of the Christmas movie. Her first one was in 2021, and that was A Kiss Before Christmas. Let me tell you something. I was so excited to watch this movie because it stars her and James Denton, Mike Delfino, Susan Meyer and Mike Delfino in a movie together. Hallmark did their big one with this. They actually knew what they were doing because I was hooked. So Ethan, a married father of 2 teens, wakes up one morning shocked to find that he's unmarried, has no kids, and is the CEO of his company. His wife is the key to him being able to reclaim his original life and family. So it's basically, he's like, oh, my life would have been so much better if I'd done this differently. And then Santa is like, okay, and like changes his life to how it would be if he'd made that decision differently, right? See, I was so excited to watch this because they were both in it, but it was a little boring. I feel like I got into it more as it went along, so I ended up giving it a 7 out of 10, which was the same as IMDb. That was a 7 out of 10. It got 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, but yeah, I think the fact that it was Mike and Susan really helped. Like, that did a lot of heavy lifting. Had this been, I don't know, any other actors, it might have gone down to a 6 or a 5. But there were parts that I really liked, but there were also parts that were just really boring. Christmas food, baby. So then in 2023, she did Christmas at the Chalet, which was a Lifetime one. Ex-TV host Lex finds herself spending Christmas in a chalet with her son, ex-husband, and his new girlfriend. To avoid things getting too close to home, she volunteers to work at the chalet, all while documenting it for her new followers. And this was William DeVry? I didn't get around to watching this one. This is one of the ones I didn't watch. To be honest with you, I added Desperate Housewives this year because I wanted to talk about the one with Susan and Mike. So this was like, it was hard. A lot of these I did watch last year and rated them last year when I had more time. This year, I think I still watched a good amount. I think I watched maybe like 15 or 20 this year. But yeah, Desperate Housewives is one that I added this year. So I just did not get around to most of the ones from like Desperate Housewives. But IMDb gave this a 6.4 out of 10. I think this one sounds good, to be honest with you. I do think I would like it. So I am gonna still watch it at some point. Then we had How to Fall in Love by Christmas, and this was 2023 as well. And this was actually a Roku original. This is our only Roku original on the list, I think. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to watch this one, and to be honest with you, I didn't really. I saw maybe half of this movie. It was actually in the in-flight entertainment on my flight to DC. So I was like, perfect, because I couldn't find it anywhere. In the UK, so I was like, this is great, I'll watch it now. And then I got maybe, I think 30 minutes in and I did fall asleep. So I only saw 30 minutes of it, but I quite I liked it, the bit that I did see. So I probably would go back and watch this one and finish it. But Nora Winters tries to save her lifestyle brand by writing a column about her efforts to fall in love by Christmas. With the help of a handsome photographer, Nora learns there may be a lot more about love. What? Nora learns there may be a lot to love about looking for love during the holidays. What a mouthful. And this was Dan Payne. From what I did see, he seemed like a really good, charismatic leading man. So I was here for it. I shipped it. I thought it was fine. IMDb gave it a 5.9 out of 10 and it was 69% rotten. I don't feel like I could give it a score because I didn't see all of it. But I mean, it was like nothing amazing from what I saw, but I still, I enjoyed the bit that I did see. And then we have James Denton, Mike Delfino, the love of my life. So he has done 3, I'm going to call them Hallmark projects, because he's only done one movie, Christmas movie, and that's A Kiss Before Christmas, which obviously we just talked about. Then in 2023 he did Christmas on Cherry Lane, which is a TV series. So for this I decided I wasn't going to watch TV series. I was only going to watch the movies, because obviously here James Denton is the only actor that I'm watching these for. But this, I think, had 8 episodes or something. So I was like, I can't be watching all 8 episodes and seeing all the other stories. But I do see a gay couple, so I love that. So yeah, maybe next year I'll do Hallmark Christmas shows rather than just movies. But yeah, I was like, I can't be watching an 8 episode series And there's more. So I would have had to watch so many episodes of Christmas TV, and I was like, I can't be doing that. Over the holidays, 3 couples at different stages of their life traverse significant life moments at 7 Cherry Lane. So it's like people that lived in this house, but in different times. So I think that's a cool concept. IMDb gave it a 6 and it got 50% rotten. I think I probably would watch this. I just didn't have the time this year. Then they did Happy Holidays from Cherry Lane. So I think James is paired with the same actress he was last time, but these other 4 are new. And it's in 1960, a family deals with hosting a grumpy grandpa during the holidays while working on a school time capsule. In 1998, a blizzard brings 2 strangers together. And in 2015, a wedding planner reunites with her ex who is officiating. And this got a 6.3 on IMDb. So yeah, maybe next year I'll watch the Cherry Lane series and I'll review that for you guys. Also, I just want James Denton and Terry Hatcher to do more stuff together. Cast them in 100 movies, I don't even care. Then we have Ricardo Chavira. He played Carlos in Desperate Housewives, and he's only done 1. This was a Lifetime one with Melissa Joan Hart, Holly, a event coordinator who works diligently to appease her guests, only to be surprised when Kevin, her high school lover, and his children become guests at her family's lodge. So honestly, I think I will watch this one at some point. Like I said, with the Desperate Housewives ones, I just didn't get around to basically all of them. But this got a 6 out of 10 and a 33%. So hard to tell there. Mixed reviews, clearly. Then we have Nicolette Sheridan, who played Edie Britt on Desperate Housewives. Mother. Okay, that's Mother. This was one that I was so upset I didn't get around to watching because I actually really wanted to. So this is The Christmas Spirit. This is 2013, and I think that would have been the oldest one in the list. A woman lands in a coma but realizes... I shouldn't laugh. But realizes her spirit is awake. So she tries to communicate with people in her town and convinces them to change their minds about pending real estate development in their community. And this also stars Bart Johnson, who is Coach Bolton. And so I was like, this seems like a great pairing to me. I really wanted to watch it. I just didn't get around to it. So this is like, I will, mark my words, I will be watching this one. IMDb gave it a 5.8 out of 10. Even though I've never seen it, I feel like that's harsh. Looking at this poster, I think it's immediately 7 and above. I think it just is. Then last but not least, for Desperate Housewives, we have Jesse Metcalfe, and he played John the gardener. So he has done 2, I don't know what is going on with his face, in this Christmas Under the Stars poster. He's literally giving Robbie Rotten. Like, they did him so dirty. The way that they face tune and like edit these movie posters is absolutely hilarious. Anyway, so we did Christmas Next Door in 2017. A famous author is forced to look after his niece and nephew over the holidays, and with the help of his Christmas-loving neighbour, he learns to find love and Christmas spirit. So this was Fiona Gubelman. In this one, it got 6.5 out of 10 and 57%. I didn't go around to watching this one. Then Christmas Under the Stars was 2019, and this was Autumn Reesa starring across from him, who had been in the OC as well, so, you know, another little teen drama friend. A self-centered banker falls in love with an astronomy teacher after he takes a job at a Christmas tree lot owned by a widower. Like, you know when people tweet and they're like, these are words that have never been put together before? Hallmark is like that, but these are words that have been put together all the time in many different ways. You know that TikTok audio where it's like, what is it? It's like, this story has been told many times and many ways, and I'm about to tell it to you again in a different way, or some shit like that. That is every Hallmark movie. It is literally just that audio. It's always a business person meets a small town like shop owner, toy store owner, the toy store's going out of business, the Christmas parade needs help, literally anything and everything. people are always dead as well. That's another thing. It's always a widower. It's always my dad passed and he loved Christmas. This is my first Christmas without my mum, and she would always take me Christmas tree shopping. We do that every movie. We Christmas tree shop every movie. We make biscuits, usually gingerbread men or gingerbread houses, every movie. What else do we do? We have an almost kiss that is interrupted every movie. People wear ugly Christmas jumpers. It usually snows. Oh good lord, so many things. So many things. It is like Hallmark and Lifetime, they know their formula and they stick to it. And like, I love that shit. Like, I could talk shit about these movies like so much. Like, I can do that, but also I love them. And there are so many of them that I love. And yeah, we're gonna get to my top 15 at the end of this video. But there are lots of these that I did really like and gave a 10 out of 10, but it's just so funny when it's like the formula is so consistent. It's so consistent. It never wavers. Anyway, that one got 6.8 and 47%. Back to what I was saying before I went on a little rant there. So, that concludes Desperate Housewives. We are moving on to Gossip Girl. This is going to be a little bit of a smaller list. But first up, we have Leighton Meester. Obviously, she played the iconic Blair Waldorf. She has only done one Christmas movie. This is a freebie one. I included it because I'd already seen it. I literally saw it the year it came out because I was so excited to watch it. So this is called Xmas, and it stars, I think this is Robbie Amell, and he actually played Eric Kahn in Pretty Little Liars, so there's that little connection there as well. Graham returns home to celebrate Christmas and is surprised to discover his family already celebrating with Ali, his ex. It's tricky to compare to the others because obviously this is like a freebie original, so it doesn't have to be like super strict, family friendly, only one kiss, only, you know, whatever. So they can have a lot more fun with the humor, and, you know, the romance feels a lot more real because they can kind of, you know, play into that a lot more. And I loved this one. I thought this was so good.
Spit it out. Last night was amazing. Yes, in church. No, at home.
I thought it was really heartfelt at parts and emotional, but yeah, it was also funny, and the romance was great, and the ending, I thought the ending was perfect. I absolutely loved it. And at the time when I reviewed it, I was like, I think it'll be a Christmas favourite of mine from now on, and it absolutely is. Like, my go-to Christmas movies is not like, and I do love actually, I love Home Alone, things like that, but I love, yeah, Xmas, Holiday. Oh my god, I love Holiday. I think that's such a good movie. The Hating Game with Lucy Hale is not like technically a Christmas movie, but it is set at Christmas. I love that. Like, those are my kind of go-to movies. Is more like rom-com Christmas movies. So yeah, that's more my beat. That's what I would recommend to you this Christmas is Holiday and Xmas. 10 out of 10. Next, we have Michelle Trachtenberg, I think is how you say it. Oh, this makes me so sad because it actually breaks my heart because when I first watched this movie, I watched it in the batch last year. So I watched it before she had passed away, and obviously now she has, and I just, like, my heart just breaks for her. Like, I just loved her so much. I thought she was so talented, and just so gorgeous, and just so sweet, and yeah, it breaks my heart that she isn't here anymore. So obviously she played Georgina Sparks in Gossip Girl, and that was actually, like, obviously, I guess one of her most well-known roles, aside from The Ice Princess, is Gossip Girl, and that was actually her last acting credit as well, was being Georgina Sparks in the Gossip Girl reboot. But yeah, so she did one Christmas movie. It was a Lifetime one called The Christmas Gift, and also the lead in this was, 3 times we had a black man as the male lead, so also in this one. And it was Nate St. Germain, actually, from Pretty Little Liars. So I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. Because when I see him, he's a murderer. But now I'm like, oh no, he's this nice love interest. It's all very confusing for me. Anyway, Megan, a young and driven journalist, classic. We love a journalist in these movies, wants to publish the perfect Christmas story. To do this, she decides to track down a stranger who changed her life as a child by giving her a special gift. And this is Wesley, the lead. So yeah, I said Michelle is so gorgeous, which she is. I thought they were cute, but I don't know. I did like their chemistry. I thought they had really good chemistry. I thought this movie had a really great message as well. I thought it was really sweet. They did have a villain in this one, a guy called Alex, and he like wasn't even a good villain. I just couldn't be arsed with him. Like, he was just ruined everything for her in this movie, and it was just annoying to see. I just wanted to see her do well. So yeah, I thought they had good chemistry, but overall the movie I didn't enjoy it as much, so I ended up going with a 6 out of 10. And IMDb gave it a 5.3 out of 10. Next up we have Jessica. I never know how to pronounce it. I think it's Zor. But I need to like find an interview of her actually pronouncing it so that I know I'm pronouncing it properly. But she played Vanessa Abrams in Gossip Girl. She has also done one movie. This is our only Discovery Plus original, and it's called Designing Christmas. It came out in 2022. So the lead in this is Marco Grazzini. I thought he was great. He was one of my favourite leading men. I thought he was so good in this movie, so likeable. I loved their chemistry as well. So it follows Stella and Pablo. It's a battle of power tools and iron wills when two competitive hosts of a reality home makeover show come together for a stunt to renovate a house by Christmas, and unexpectedly they also redesign their love lives in the process. They always have such beautiful homes in these movies. Like, I was just obsessed with the house she lives in this movie. And they were all slagging it off as well. They were like, this house is old and it's dusty and it needs to be modernized. I was like, no, this house is beautiful, actually. Leave it how it is. She's also engaged at the beginning of this film, and I hated the fiance. He was so annoying. But yeah, I bought into their chemistry straight away. And honestly, usually the male leads are a bit meh for me. Sorry. They're just always a bit, okay, run-of-the-mill, they're all the same character, but I really liked Pablo. I thought he was really good. It was also really fun because it was shot a bunch of different ways. So you watch it like a movie, but then they also do sections that are like as if you were watching the show. So it's them sat doing the interviews and being like, oh, so then we did this and then we moved this around, and they're like free hand camera, like following them doing the designs, and then they also showed like the design mock-ups and the drawings, and like, this is what we wanted this to look like. It literally felt like you're watching Great British Bake Off. So they were doing those segments as if you were actually watching the show, but then they also cut to just the normal movie. And I don't know, I hadn't seen that before. I thought that was really fun. Like, you see all the TV production side of it, and all that. I don't know. I thought it was really good. And then, as if I couldn't dislike the fiance even more, he wanted to paint over the wood with white paint. When we bought this house, someone had done that in the bathroom. I have yet to rectify it. I need to, but it is actually a travesty. Don't ever do that if you're thinking about it. Anyway.
Okay.
Whoa! Okay.
Oh my goodness. Is that you or the stuffing?
Yeah, it's all me. Careful with the merchandise.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh.
Right.
I really liked this one. I thought it was fun. I would rewatch it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. And IMDb only gave it a 5.8 out of 10, which I thought was harsh. And then we have two like kind of miscellaneous honorable mentions. So we have Katie Cassidy, who played Juliet, and she was in A Royal Christmas Crush. Then we have Aaron Tveit, who played Trip Vanderbilt. And he was in One Royal Holiday in 2020, and this ranked 12th on Slash Film's 25 Best Hallmark Movies and 24th on Variety's 25 Best Hallmark Movies, which I'm like, in theory, I'm thinking, oh, I should watch that because it made these lists, but then also like Christmas at Pemberley Manor made this list, and I fucking hated that one, so I don't know. I don't know if I trust these lists, to be honest. It's so late and I have so much to prep because I'm actually hosting Christmas. And so like every time my camera stops filming, I'm like, right, this is my time, and I like eat something. So all my lipstick is coming off, but it's holding up well. It's this one, in case anyone was wondering. NYX Lip IV in Water About Wine. I mean, look at that. Like, the lip tint, it looks so good. Next up, we're going to talk about One Tree Hill. And guys, I promise, the One Tree Hill season 3 video is coming. I didn't plan on doing these every year, like only one a year. But it's finding the time to sit down and watch like 25 episodes of a season, then also write loads of notes about them, and then put those notes into something cohesive, and then sit down, film that. Like, these videos are so long, they're like 4 hours long. Like, edited, they're like 4 hours long, which means I'm sitting there for way longer than 4 hours. So anyway, it just takes a lot of time. I feel like with this one, it was a lot easier because I wasn't making in-depth notes about them. Like, these ones I watched like while I was making Christmas cookies. I watched while I was wrapping stuff, or while I was editing even. Like, I could have these on in the background while I was doing other stuff. So it made it a lot easier. Like, while I was, you know, writing my book and, you know, whatever, I could just have these on in the background and just be like, oh, did I like that? Yes or no? Whereas with One Tree Hill, like, I really need to sit and focus and watch it and take notes. So it's a lot harder. But yeah, that video is coming. I promise it is coming. So, first up, of course, we have Chad Michael Murray, my man's love of my life. He's fabulous in these movies. He's done so many of them and he hits every single time. So obviously he played Lucas Scott in One Tree Hill. We have 6 movies to talk about today. First up, his first ever one, he did Road to Christmas in 2018. This was opposite Jesse Schramm, who I think has done quite a few Hallmark movies. When Maggie Baker is asked to co-produce a Christmas special, here we go, another TV one, with the host's son, Danny Wise. She is not too happy about it. However, she unknowingly falls in love with him. There were 2 characters in this movie that I were like lesbians. I was literally like, if these 2 aren't lesbians, I'm going to be so disappointed. And they weren't lesbians. So I was not happy about that. However, they did allude, okay? They did allude to one of his brothers, because he has 2 brothers, one of them being gay. So we were getting there, okay? In 2018, we were getting there. But yeah, I thought the TV producer career was fun. I much preferred it to like the TV host career that we've seen a few times. I thought the producer side was more fun. I literally said, I fear my love for Chad is going to carry this movie, which it definitely did. There was also Pops from Riverdale. He was in this. And it literally made me laugh so much. He had the like old man phone case. I was like, Chad, come on. Like, they can't be doing you this dirty. There was also a Chad wink that I thought was notable, so I'll show you that. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. I thought the kiss was good. Overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I would watch it again. I thought it was fine. IMDb was a 6.7, and then Rotten Tomatoes was a 65. It was ranked 10th on Forbes 25 most must-watch Hallmark movies and 15th on Variety.com's 25 best Hallmark movies. We have Right Before Christmas, which is 2019 and also stars Tori DeVito. So we're actually going to talk about that in the Pretty Little Lies section when we talk about Tori DeVito movies. So we are going to talk about that right now. But Tori was also in One Tree Hill, so that's a little fun match up there. Then obviously we have Too Close for Christmas with Jessica, which we've already spoken about. Then we have Toying with the Holidays, which was 2021, or it's also called The Holiday Train. This is a Lifetime one. He starred opposite Cindy Busby. A workaholic single mum returns to her hometown, determined to introduce her young son to some beloved holiday traditions. While there, she reconnects with a former classmate, now a model train hobbyist. Let me tell you something. This isn't really the kind of circles I run in, but I have never seen a model train hobbyist that looks like Chad Michael Murray. I said Chad always slays in these movies. I don't want it to sound shady when I say this, because like there are Hallmark movies where the acting is good, like the acting is genuinely good, but Chad never gives Hallmark actor, okay? Like, does that make sense? Like, he never gives TV movie actor. He always is just so genuinely good. Like, he is a great actor, genuinely. I think he's a great actor. So all of his movies get brought up to another level because of that, in my opinion. I also thought that the train hobbyist thing was cool. Like, they don't, a lot of the times, like, the men are either carpenters or, like, business associate people. So I thought this was, like, a cool, you know, hobby for him. It's usually, like, the girly pops that have the fun jobs. And honestly, something was in the water with this movie because Chad looked extra fine in this movie. I also thought Cindy was good in this movie. I did like her as a lead. And this one made me cry. Like, not sob, like I wasn't full on sobbing, but it did make me tear up. A big part of this movie is her trying to navigate grief after losing her dad, who was very into trains and like Christmas and everything. So that's one thing I will say about these movies, is even though they're, you know, like kid-friendly, family-friendly movies and all that stuff, I would definitely look into them first if you know, grief, and especially like grief around Christmas and, you know, things like that is something that can be a bit triggering for you. I would definitely look into these first because it just like creeps up on you in so many of these movies. So that did get me. And I gave this one an 8 out of 10. I liked it. I would rewatch it. I would recommend it. And on IMDb it got a 6.3, which I thought was kind of harsh. Okay, next up we have The Merry Gentleman. I was so excited to watch this one. I watched this one last year while in like a hotel in Manchester, I think. It literally just come out, and they had Netflix on the TV, so I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch this one. Let me just say, I've said that I love Chad, you know, but I love Britt Robertson. I love her. I think she is so underrated, and I used to watch her and stuff all the time when I was younger, and like when I was a teenager. And I just have such a love for her. I don't know why. I'm like emotionally attached to her. I just love her. So when I saw that she was in this, and then obviously we had Chad, I was hooked already. So I was like, we're already off to a great start. We've already got a baseline of, I'm probably going to enjoy this movie. Also, he's called Luke in this movie. There are like so many times in Chad's IMDb, he has played so many Lukes. I wonder if he looks at these scripts and he's like, oh, okay, I'm playing a character called Luke again. Okay, One Tree Hill fans, here we go. But yeah, shirtless Chad, so speaks for itself. 10 out of 10. They also made a joke about how they give like Hallmark handyman vibes, which I thought was funny because obviously Chad has been in Hallmark movies before. The Kiss was 10 out of 10, which I expected because this is a Netflix movie. I expected it to be good. It was great. I really liked this one. There were times where I did think it was a little boring. And again, I think had it not been Britt Robertson and Chad Michael Murray, maybe the score would be lower. The conflict part felt forced. And it was like over instantly, so it just felt a little unnecessary. But after I'd watched so many Hallmark ones, this was a really fun change up, and I liked it. So I would rewatch it. Yeah, it was just fun, like the dance performance and all that side of it. I thought there was good humor. So I gave this one an 8 out of 10. IMDb gave it a 4.8 and it got 39 on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is way harsh. I think it's definitely worth a watch. Okay, then last but not least, we have Joy to the World, which came out this year. This was a like Hulu original, so it is on Disney Plus, and I was gonna watch it, but again, I just ran out of time. So this isn't one that I actually ended up seeing, but he stars across from Emmanuel Shrieky. Okay, again, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing these names, but they're called Joy and Max in this, and it's a famous lifestyle writer must maintain her carefully crafted image when TV cameras arrive for Christmas dinner. So her plan to have her best friend pose as her spouse leads to unexpected feelings and revelations. So I was like, this is great. Like, this is so up my street in terms of the plot of one that I would like. didn't get around to this one, but I will be watching this one. I definitely will. And it got 5.8 on IMDb. Then we have a Hilary Burton Morgan, and she played Peyton Sawyer in One Tree Hill. And she is so gorgeous. Look at her. That is crazy. So she has done 5 movies. I think all of hers are Lifetime ones, maybe. And so Naughty or Nice was the first one she did in 2011. Chrissy Kringle, whose name is similar to Kris Kringle, an alternative name of Santa Claus, a down-on-her-luck advertising executive, becomes the custodian of Santa's famous Naughty or Nice list. And she's really the lead in this movie. Her boyfriend in it is called Lance. He's played by Matt Dallas, but she's really the lead, which I really liked. I thought it was fun to have it centered around just her and her character development, and the romance side take a backseat. I thought that was fun. I thought this one was so fun. I loved it. And yeah, like I said, it focuses more on Chrissy herself and like the book that she gets. So it is a kind of more like magical one, which usually for me would not be my beat, but they did it in a fun way that it didn't feel like super magical. It just had a magical element, but I still felt like really grounded. I thought the concept of it was really good. She also has this friendship with this guy called Marco when she begins working like as an elf at the mall. And I loved their little dynamic. And Daniel Ackles is also in this. So you kind of get a little mini One Tree Hill reunion. And I did predict this movie. Like as I was watching it, I was like, oh, I bet this is going to happen. This is definitely going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. But I thought it was great. I like that it showed both sides. So obviously she sees one version of events in the book, but then you kind of see how it plays out, and it's not like, it's kind of a thing of everything's not always how it seems and don't jump to conclusions and whatever. So I thought, I thought that was a pretty good message. And each character gets development as well, which you don't see a lot. A lot of times the side characters are just very one note. They aren't really relevant to the story at all, but like everyone was getting character development. I thought this one was great. I'm not going to spoil how it ends because it was really, really cute and I really liked it, and I think you should go and watch it. It is genuinely such a good one. It got 35% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is absolutely criminal. IMDb was 6.5. And I was like, at the time that I was watching this, I was like, this is easily one of the best so far. And it is still one of the best that I saw. And I literally was like, I'm adding this to my Christmas movie list ASAP. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. So then she's done 4 more. And all of them are kind of like One Tree Hill, like reunion movies in a way. So we have Christmas on, and I didn't get to see any of these as they were kind of hard to find. But I'm also kind of thinking about doing a video next year, like on these movies specifically, on the One Tree Hill movies, because they're like, so many different cast members come into these. So I'm kind of thinking about just doing a deep dive into these specific movies. So I wasn't hugely fussed about watching them for this video because I was like, I'm going to watch them next year and do a deep dive on it. But yeah, Christmas at the Bayou was 2013. That was Tyler Hilton. Catherine, a divorced workaholic, and her son travel to her mother's hometown in Louisiana, where she comes across Caleb, her childhood friend, who tries to rekindle their childhood romance. Last Chance for Christmas. When a reindeer's foot gets wounded, Santa's worried stable master goes to Alaska to find a substitute reindeer, good lord, to ensure smooth Christmas deliveries, but he gets smitten with the reindeer's owner. And then we have The Christmas Contract. This is 2018. This is Robert Buckley. Again, another One Tree Hill one. I think this also had like a bunch of other secondary One Tree Hill characters in it too. A newly single woman considers returning to her hometown for Christmas. However, she soon begins to dread the trip when she learns that her ex-boyfriend will be present with his new girlfriend. Then we have A Christmas Wish. This is another Tyler Hilton one. Maddie wishes for true love in her sister Faith's life as part of the traditional Christmas custom in their town. However, the latter's life changes on Andrew's arrival. So yeah, that's those are all of Hilary's movies. And honestly, she's so good. Like, I'm excited to watch these other 4 and like deep dive on them because she's really good. She was really good in Naughty or Nice. Okay, now we have another absolute Hallmark queen and legend. Next up, we have Bethany Joy Lenz. Let me tell you something. If you see this face on a Hallmark movie poster, just know you're going to be in for a good time. She is everything. She is the moment. She is fabulous. Okay, so let's look at this woman's portfolio. Fabulous. Like, oh god, it's so good. Okay, first up, we have her first ever one. She did The Christmas Secret in 2014. Christine is going through a difficult phase in life as she has just lost her job and met with an accident. However, she comes across a magical family heirloom which turns her fortunes around. Like, that's literally not even true. Like, watching this movie, that's barely what happens at all, actually. But anyway, so we have Christine and Jason. Jason is played by Josh Reardon. Yeah, this was the first time I had seen divorce in a Hallmark movie. Usually it is like widow. I don't know if it's slightly different because it's a movies and mysteries Hallmark movie. I don't know if maybe, you know, the parameters, the rules are a little bit different over there, maybe. Also, her daughter's called Haley, which I was like, that's so freaking cute. Anyway, so yeah, she's divorced. She sees a car crash happen, saves a woman's life, and then is fired. And then the dad is the fucking worst. Also, he's such a villain. Comes and wants full custody. Like, damn, she was going through everything in this. To be honest, I was a lot more invested in Christine and her story and everything that was going on with her and her kids, rather than the romance side of it. Which might be, yeah, because it's a, like, I don't know, like, the movie poster gives you know, like, romance movie, but I was way more invested in all the other stuff. I think Jason was okay. He was a okay lead. I liked how he was with her kids. I thought that was really sweet. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I would rewatch it. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and IMDb gave it a 7.3, and it got 59 on Rotten Tomatoes. It ranked 24th on Forbes 25 must-watch Hallmark movies, and yeah, I think it's good. I would recommend it. Next up, we have Snowed In for Christmas. Let me tell you something. This movie is great. This movie is great. Okay, so this was 2017. This is actually a Lifetime one, not a Hallmark one. Jenna and Kevin's played by Andrew Walker. Loved him, thought he was great. Co-workers who are poles apart volunteer to work together for a special assignment during Christmas time. Unfortunately, they get stranded at Santa Claus, Indiana during a snowstorm. Stranded, enemies to lovers, stranded, stuck together in the same hotel. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, snowed in. You're checking all the boxes. Okay, you're checking all the boxes. I literally said, Bethany's so gorgeous. And she is. I stand by that. Yeah, enemies to lovers, loved that. We also saw sign language in this one, which I loved. That was cool. We hadn't seen that in any other movie. I mean, they were baking in their matching pajamas. It was adorable. I literally almost cried at this one. I didn't cry, but I almost did. At the heart-to-heart that they had about, you know, her childhood and love and how she sees love and everything. And yeah, I thought these two had great chemistry. I loved the opposites attract thing. They were very, very different. And I literally said, no, I'm so invested in these two. You don't understand. I thought the ending was perfect. The ending was perfect. No notes. I like all the little details. It was so well written. A 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10. IMDb gave it a 7.3 and it got 57 on Rotten Tomatoes. And also, like I said, like didn't make any of the top Hallmark movie lists, which is crazy. This one's great. Watch it. This one's great. Okay, then we have Poinsettias for Christmas. This came out in 2018. This was another Lifetime one. This focused on Ellie and Sean. Sean was played by Marcus Rosner. Again, I thought he was really good in this. A woman returns home to help her father save the family poinsettia farm. As she searches for a way to deliver the plants in time for the town's annual parade, she finds herself falling in love with a local botanist. The mum in this was also in Desperate Housewives and in One Tree Hill, and the dad was also in Desperate Housewives and 90210. So there was loads of fun crossovers in this one. I did really like this one. I feel like there were parts I could have done without, like his kind of girlfriend that he has. I feel like that whole storyline, like he didn't need to be dating her for that storyline to work. And for her to want to buy the farm, and yeah, I wasn't huge on that, but I liked the family dynamic in this one. I thought it was good. I thought they had good chemistry. So yeah, I liked it, but there were parts of it I would have changed or could have done without, so I gave it an 8 out of 10. So my fiance did, like, naturally, because I was watching so many of these back to back, he was in the room when I watched some of them. He gave this a 5 out of 10. So I give it an 8 out of 10, he gave it a 5 out of 10. Then IMDb gave it a 6.5 and it got 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. Next up, we have 5 Star Christmas. This came out in 2020. To help her father's new bed and breakfast, a daughter plots a plan with her family to act as satisfied guests in the hope of getting a good review from an anonymous writer. This was Lucy and Jake. Jake was played by Victor Webster. This was a Hallmark one. I fully understood her outrage in this movie because imagine you go home for Christmas and your childhood home is now a B&B and nobody told you. You'd be fuming. They were acting insane. Like, the thing was just be normal guests, like pretend to be normal guests, and they all acted so weird, which I get it pushes the story along, like it creates the hurdles because they're all acting all strange and it's supposed to be funny, but there was points where I was like, this isn't even funny. You guys are just acting so stupid. And also I wanted to ask my American viewers, do B&B guests like spend time together? Because in this movie, obviously they're a family, but they're all pretending to be different couples and different people staying there. And the lead guy, Victor, he's not part of the family. He just genuinely is a guest here. And there's this other woman who is just a guest. But they spend all their time with them as well. And they like all have dinner together. And they all like, I'm like, do you guys do this with strangers? Because we do not. Parts of this movie were actually really sad. Like, this is what I'm telling you about these Hallmark movies. They will sneak up on you with a little gut punch. And you're like, I was just here for a good Christmas time. But thank you for that. I also actually did not expect the twist in this movie, which I was surprised at because I predict them all, but this one I did not. Yeah, the romance between the dad and Beth was really good too, aside from the main romance. One thing about me, I'm always going to love a secondary romance and sometimes get more invested in it than I do in the main romance, especially if it's old people. Old people falling in love, man. That shit is so cute. I said I thought this one was good, but it wasn't my favourite, so I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's so cute as well, because last year, when I was watching these, my fiancé was my boyfriend, so it says boyfriend score, and he gave it a 4 out of 10. He liked Bethany, though. He thought she was a good actress, so she's the 4. In his 4 out of 10, he did not like anything else about it. That's fine. IMDb gave it a 6.9 and it got 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. Then we have An Unexpected Christmas. This is where she lost me. This was a Hallmark one. And this is the worst of her bunch, to be honest with you. So this is, 2021. A speech writer makes a deal with his ex-girlfriend to pretend they are a couple to save his family's Christmas. It's not long before the ruse and their feelings catch up with them. So we had Emily and Jamie. Jamie was played by Tyler Hines. The first thing that I wrote was, it would be so fun if she and James Lafferty did one of these. Like, he so could have played this role. And I stand by that. No shade to Tyler Hines. He did 2 of the ones in this list. And I don't know. I'm sorry, King. But it wasn't giving it to me. But anyway, I thought all of her outfits were really great in this movie. That's a point that I can give it. I thought Bethany's character was really, really likable, as always, but I just wasn't huge on the leading man, and I also wasn't huge on his family either. I thought they were all annoying. Like, Bethany was the only one that I liked. What an odd thing for your parents to do, to make you kiss under the mistletoe and say, make it a good one. Yeah, I stand by that. What a strange thing to do.
Well, you better make it good.
Yes, or it's 7 years bad luck.
Oh, that's a good one.
One of the sisters was a lesbian though, so loved that. Thought that was great. I said boring, can't lie, 3 out of 10. I'm sorry, Queen, I'm sorry. My fiance gave it a -2 out of 10. Did not like the main lead, aka the guy, sorry, but did like the lesbian. And I have to agree, she was probably the best character in this whole movie. IMDb gave it a 6.9 and it got 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. It ranked, I literally can't even believe this, it ranked 14th on Slash Film's 25 Best Hallmark Movies, ranked 16th on Entertainment Weekly's Best Hallmark Movies, and ranked first, I'm sorry, first on Variety's 25 Best Hallmark Movies. No, you're actually wrong. Objectively, you're wrong. Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this one. Then we have A Biltmore Christmas. Okay? This is 2023. This is the most recent one that she's done. I pray she does more. I think I've already said in this video, I don't really do fantasy stuff. You know, I'm not into the whole magical element of these ones. I'm here for a grounded rom-com, please and thank you. So I went into this with low expectations. I was like, okay, we'll get through this one. I fucking loved this movie. This movie is fabulous. This movie is so good. Okay. So, a magical hourglass sends modern-day screenwriter Lucy Hardgrove to the set of the 1947 holiday classic, His Merry Wife. However, before she can return to the present, Lucy must make things right or threaten to alter the future forever. So we had Lucy and Jack. Jack was played by Christopher Polar. There was so much I loved about this movie. So they go, obviously you have like modern day, which is where she is, and then when she goes into the movies, like it's black and white, and like, oh my god, I loved it. I just loved it. I loved everything about it. There's she's doing a tour of, you know, the set and everything. It's like, this is where they filmed it, but obviously people can stay there and whatever. And there's this lady on the tour who's like obsessed with the movie, and she's taking pictures of everything. And that was me on the Warner Brothers tour, taking pictures of like all the Pretty Little Liars stuff. It's not that she's like living in the movie and he's acting like the character. She then goes back and is on the set of the movie, and she interacts with him as like the actor in the movie. And I thought it was so good. I loved it. Like the outfits and the set and the props and everything being from the 40s. Like it was really, really cool. And I just, oh my god, I adored their love story. I really did. Like, I was so invested. There were parts where I was so upset, where I was like, it was such a roller coaster. And I also loved how, as the movie goes on, you can point out the moments that Lucy impacted. So, like, because it is about time travel and things that she does in the past affect the future, when you then know that and you see it, you're like, oh wait, that happened because she did that. Like, do you know? Which sounds kind of confusing, but it was really cool. I'm not going to spoil the ending, because again, I thought it was really good. I think you should absolutely watch it. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. I thought their chemistry was great. I thought the acting was great. 10 out of 10. IMDb gave it a 7.8 and it got a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Fucking deserved. Absolutely deserved. And it ranked first on Entertainment Weekly's 25 Best Hallmark Movies. And you know what? I actually can't even argue with that. This movie eats. It's so, so good. Next up, we have James Lafferty. He obviously played Nathan Scott. Wait, did I say that Bethany played Haley James Scott? Did I not say that? Okay, well, she did. Anyway, James. So, yeah, he played Nathan Scott. Love him. Love him, love him, love him. He's only done the one. And it came out this year. It literally came out yesterday, I think. So I haven't had the chance to watch it yet, but it's a Lifetime one. It's called A Pickleball Christmas, and he's starring opposite Zibby Allen. They're playing Caroline and Luke, fresh off of the biggest win of his career, tennis star Luke Hollis, which is hilarious that he's Nathan Scott and he's playing Luke. Heads home to Florida for Christmas, only to discover his family's racket club is on the verge of being sold. Teaming up with Caroline, the club's pickleball coach, Luke reluctantly agrees to compete in a high-stakes holiday tournament that could save the club. So yeah, and this literally came out like a day ago, I think, at this point. So I haven't had time to watch it, but I bet he's really good in it. I think he is just so likable as an actor, so I do want to watch this, and I am manifesting James Lafferty and Bethany Christmas movie. Please and thank you. Even if it's not a Christmas movie, just a TV movie. I don't care. Anything. I want to see it. Then Brian Greenberg, who played Jake Gielski, he did one called Same Time Next Christmas, but I didn't include it because he isn't actually the lead. He's a side character, so I didn't include it, but he also did one. Now we're moving on to the love of my life, Pretty Little Liars, and oh my gosh. Oh, I love Pretty Little Liars so much. Let's get into it. First up, we have Ashley Benson, Love Mother. So obviously she played Hannah Marin in Pretty Little Liars. She has done one Christmas movie. I think this is our only ABC Family or like freeform original. It's got Chad Michael Murray in it. Oh my gosh. I just realised I didn't include Christmas Cupid in Chad Michael Murray's lineup of movies, did I? I should have. That's my bad. That's on me. So okay. Ashley is like co-lead in this movie, but the romance story isn't her. Like, the romance is Christina Milian and Chad Michael Murray, but like, she's like, I would say that Ashley is more of a lead than Chad is. Like, you see? Anyway. After a ghost teaches Sloane, a young workaholic woman, a lesson that work is not everything in life, she sets out to find her ex-lover in order to make amends with him. So, initially, I found Sloane's character absolutely insufferable, which I think is like the point. I loved Ashley Benson though. She was amazing in this film, and it's a shame too because I love Christina Milian. But in this movie, they just make her so unlikable. So yeah, Ashley Benson plays Caitlin. She's the ghost. And I think she's a great character. Chad's obviously great, as he always is.
He was my first boyfriend. Well, my first everything. You slut.
And obviously, I know it's like for the plot in these kinds of movies where it's like they see a ghost or a spirit of something and they speak to them and everyone thinks they're crazy. But like, come on. It gets to a point where it's actually infuriating because it's like, why are you speaking to her in front of everybody? Like, when I think she's in a meeting or something and she's like, oh, stop saying that. Like, why would you do that? Like, actually, logically, why would you do that? Anyway, this one as well, I think benefited from the fact that it was ABC Family. So they weren't really like restricted to, like I said, all the Hallmark kind of rules and stuff. So that made Caitlin a really fun character because she could say more funny things. Also, Chad in this movie, he plays Patrick. And like, I don't understand how she was able to win him back after everything, because it was just, the way she treated him was so awful. Also, he plays basketball. Like, they have this whole basketball scene and it was so Lucas Scott coded. Honestly, I wanted Ashley's character, Caitlin, to come back to life and be with a better person and like redeem herself and win Patrick over, and have ended up with Patrick because Patrick was such a sweetie and Sloane was so awful to him. This is whole movie, basically. How does she end up with him after she gets engaged to somebody else in front of him? And then they end up together like a day later. Like, absolutely not. Also, you gotta love a continuity error. There's a point in this movie where she actually says, it's Christmas morning. And then when she looks at her phone, it says that it's the 27th. So that was great. I said the acting was really good, but the plot was awful. 5 out of 10. I don't think I would, it's annoying because I loved Ashley in this, but I don't think I would rewatch it again because so much of this film was just infuriating. My boyfriend gave it 1 out of 10. His review, what a horrible film this was. I have to agree, I can't lie. IMDb gave it a 5.4 out of 10 and it got a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. Next up we have Shay Mitchell, Emily Fields. She is more of a secondary character in this movie, but I still included it because I wanted to, and it's my channel, my rules. So this is Something from Tiffany's, which is 2022. It's a Prime original. She plays Vanessa in it, who is Ethan's girlfriend. So it stars Kendrick Sampson and Zoe Dutch. A woman's life is turned upside down when an engagement ring that was for someone else leads her to the person she's meant to be with. I love the single dad. Well, he's not single because he's dating Vanessa, but like, you know, dad-daughter dynamic. I think it's great. It's always good. And the jeweler in this movie was actually also in PLL. She was the fortune teller in the Homecoming episode, and she was also the dental assistant at the Akkad, like, dental place, whatever, in like season 4, I think. So yeah, she was also in PLL, so that's a little fun nod there. Zoe is so gorgeous, and Shay is so gorgeous. So is Kendrick. Like, this movie is full of good-looking people. It's actually crazy. Their chemistry, I feel bad because, like, I'm literally not talking about Shay at all, because she's not part of the main romance, but the main romance in this film was great. Their chemistry was so good. I thought the ending was a little rushed, but I did like that we got a time jump, because in the Hallmark ones, we never ever get a time jump. We never get to see the leads as a couple, which I think is such a shame. It's all the like build up, so that was kind of fun. And we had lesbians, so that was bonus points. And I thought it was really funny. So I give this an 8 out of 10. It's ranked number 68 on Rotten Tomatoes top 100 Christmas movies. It got a 72%. And IMDb, it had a 6.2 out of 10. Then we have my queen, Lucy Hale. I love her. If there is a Lucy Hale movie, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna like it. I'm probably gonna watch it more than once. So in terms of Christmas movies, we have The Hating Game, which I already mentioned. It came out in 2021. And it is Lucy, an executive assistant, locks horns with her colleague Joshua over a promotion opportunity. Their feud begins to wilt away when they find themselves attracted to each other. This is actually based on a book, this one. The lead is played by Austin Stowell, and it's not a Christmas film, but it's set at Christmas. So, like, there's a little bit of a Christmassy vibe, but not really. It's really all about the romance. And I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. I think their tension is so good. Their banter is so good. And I really want to read the book as well. I gave this a 10 out of 10, but don't go into it thinking that it's like a Hallmark Christmas movie, because it absolutely is not. IMDb gave it 6.2, and I got 68 on Rotten Tomatoes, but I gave it 10 out of 10. Love Lucy. Also, she looks stunning in this movie. Then we have something so exciting. So next year, Lucy is going to be in a new Christmas movie called The 12 Dates of Christmas. And she is starring alongside Ian Harding. I'm so excited to be able to like root for them as a couple, because their chemistry, the Lucy Hale, Ian Harding chemistry is crazy. So it's fun to actually be able to root for them rather than Ezria. So the rom-com will see Hale play Christina Walker, a careerist shop owner who decides to go on 12 dates in the 12 weeks before Christmas as she struggles to find her soulmate. And we don't really know anything about this movie, just that. That's the summary that we've got, and obviously we know it's going to be Lucy and Ian, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Speaking of, next up we have Ian Harding. Obviously he played Ezra Fitz. I didn't even say that Lucy Hale played Ari Montgomery, but Ari's my favourite liar. She needs no introduction. Yes, Ian Harding, Ezra Fitz. He has done, well, he's going to have done 4 projects. First up, we have Ghost of Christmas Always. This was his first one, came out in 2022. Catherine, Ghost of Christmas Present, must help one soul rediscover his Christmas spirit, but this year has something unusual in store.
Wait, are you two, like, cahooting?
No. No one's cahooting.
I don't really do these more magical ones, but I thought it was a fun concept. It's also shot beautifully. Like, there's so much gorgeous decor in this movie and like establishing shots, and just the way that it's done is really great. Like, there's some CGI and stuff, but it doesn't look bad, and like the side characters, their acting's really good. Also, Ian's great in this movie. Ian is so good in this movie. And I said he's probably my favourite male protagonist so far. Stand by that. I loved the twist in this story. I loved how we learned about like Peter, and then we learned about like Catherine, or like Kat, her story, and then how like it all tied together, and like the reveal of how they were connected was really, really great. I loved the ending. I'm not going to spoil it or like say what that connection is, but it was great. I really liked it. Catherine was played by Kim Matula, and I thought she was great in this. I thought she was super likable. Yeah, like I said, I didn't have high hopes going in because I don't really prefer the more fantastical stories, but I loved it. I have no notes. 10 out of 10. It got 7.5 on IMDb and 87 on Rotten Tomatoes. It was ranked 21st on Slash Film's 25 Best Hallmark Movies. Then we have Our Little Secret, which is a Netflix own movie, and this is Ian Harding and Lindsay Lohan. I was so excited when I saw that this movie was coming out, because it's crazy to me that only now is Ian Harding like being cast in these leading roles. Like, he is so good. I'm so surprised that after Pretty Little Lies he didn't get more stuff like this, because he's great. So after discovering their significant others are siblings, two resentful exes must spend Christmas under one roof while hiding their romantic history. I thought the sketches at the beginning, like the intro, was really cute, but the opening scene was actually really dark. Like when he proposes to her and she's like, get up. She's like, please get up. And the whole thing, like, and he's really drunk, like the whole thing is just actually like really uncomfortable. But yeah, there's also the head teacher from Mean Girls, and I just put Thingy from Devious Maids, so don't know who that was, but love. Clearly I was happy about it at the time. I thought, again, this one was super predictable, like even more so than some of the Hallmark ones. The whole plot was like everything. I was like, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. But despite that, I still really liked it. There was also something that I really didn't expect, a plot between like two other characters that I did not expect at all. So I won't spoil that, but I thought that was well done, because that I didn't expect. Oh yeah, I literally said it's wild that Ian wasn't a leading man as soon as PLL ended, because he's so good. Stand by it. I wasn't 100% sold on the chemistry between Ian and Lindsay, I can't lie. But I still liked the movie. I would watch it again. I gave it a 7 out of 10. IMDb gave it a 5.7, and it got 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. Then he did a holiday TV series called Holidays. Again, this had 8 episodes, so I was like, can't be watching it this time around. It says, a neighborhood of families rush home for the holidays, ready to share in chaos and joy of the season. So yeah, it has a 7.1 on IMDb. It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I guess I need to watch this one. And then again, we have the 12 Dates of Christmas, which is going to come out next year. And I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited. Next up, we have Sasha Peter Say, and she played, of course, Alison De Laurentiis. Gorgeous, stunning. Love this woman. She's only done one. It was last year, 2024, and it was called A Carpenter Christmas Romance. It was Lifetime. Mitchell Slaggett was the other lead. They were called Andrea and Seth. A writer retreats to her family's farmhouse in the town of Wildwood to finish her novel. To her surprise, she soon develops a budding romance with a former crush, a woodworker, who's helping to rebuild the town after it was nearly destroyed by a fire. I said Sasha is so gorgeous and she's such a great actor, so I already have really high hopes for this. I did, and it delivered. You know, I thought the two of them had such great chemistry, and they were both super likable. Because like I said, I'm not always impressed with the male leads in these movies, but I thought both the characters were really likable.
It's too early for sister therapy. Oh, please, it's 2 p.m.
Yeah, the couple was so good. The build was done great. Even the conflict was like genuinely tense, and I was invested in it rather than, oh, this is just a stupid misunderstanding. We're going to get over this in 5 minutes. And I thought the ending was perfect as well. I thought the ending was really good. I really loved this one. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I only deducted a point from it being a 10 out of 10 because it wasn't actually super Christmassy. There wasn't a huge amount of Christmas. It was really more focused on like the romance side. So I deducted a point for that. And IMDb gave it 7.7, which I think is harsh. Next up, we have Janelle Parrish, And she obviously played Mona Vanderwaal, absolute icon, absolute legend. So she is like, her and Hallmark, they are like this. And I love it. I hope they keep casting her till the end of time, because I will watch them all. So first up, we have Holly and Ivy. This is 2020. A contractor helps a woman renovate a house so she can adopt a sick neighbour's 2 children. Oh, I did these the wrong way around. And that Holly and Ivy poster should be the other way around, but that's fine. This is also another movies and mysteries one. Like the contractor is really not part of this movie at all. Like the romance side is really not the main story. It's Melody and her relationship with Nina and Nina's 2 kids, Holly and Ivy. That's the real plot of this movie. But Adam was played by Jeremy Jordan. She was also a librarian, which is a career we only saw the once, but I thought it was like sweet. I thought that like this was like a cute, fun career that we hadn't seen before. This one, I would say out of all of them, is intense. Like, this is genuinely intense. It's very emotional. It is like deals with a lot of grief, and the neighbor, you know, is sick and it's like all this stuff. So I didn't love the relationship part of that. Like, to me, that just wasn't the point of this movie. The point of this movie was the relationship that Melody has, you know, with the family. And I thought it was kind of crazy. Like, it was such a huge undertaking for her to be like, yeah, I'll adopt these kids after only just knowing them. But I legit almost cried at this movie. Yeah, like, especially the end. I'm not going to spoil the end, but I really almost cried at the end. And Nina, the neighbor, is also, she's played by Marisol Nichols, who is in Riverdale. I gave this one a 9 out of 10 because I thought it was really good. I thought it was well written, it was well acted, but yeah, it wasn't really a family-friendly rom-com. So I don't know if I would watch it again, just because I think I would probably cry if I watched it a second time. And yeah, on IMDb it got 7.1 and it got 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is pretty good. Then we have A Coyote Creek Christmas. This is 2021. While throwing a Christmas around the world party at her family's inn, an event planner discovers Christmas magic with a charming father-son duo. The lead in this was played by Ryan Pavey. So yeah, Paige and Dylan. God, there was so much going on in this movie. So I said there was an awful British accent, likely true. There's always a family property that needs saving. Yep, there was also an Instax product placement that was very obvious that I thought was hilarious. I also said, oh my God, a lesbian love story. This is the first LGBT character so far, because I think this is one of the earlier ones that I watched. So I was very excited about that. Listen, if I was her, this is what I say, in these movies, people are always so shady to the lead characters and then just expect them to forgive them. Because if I was her and it was going to be my last Christmas at my parents' inn and they didn't tell me until after it was over, I would be fuming. Like, if they didn't tell me they were going to sell it until after, I'd be absolutely fuming. I thought the chemistry between these two was pretty good, and her friendship that she had with the son was sweet. And we also had like the element of learning about what different countries do at Christmas, because that was kind of the whole point of the like fair thing that was going on, so that was fun. I also liked that, you know, she stood up to them and she was fuming, and I respected that because they always just let things blow over in these movies. Yeah, Mia and Quinn, the like lesbian love story, the side story, I was so invested in that. Like I said, I'll always get invested in a secondary romance. And they had a cute little reunion and like speech from him. So yeah, I liked this one, but it was pretty standard. There were parts that I really liked and parts that I found frustrating, so I ended up giving it a 7 out of 10. And it got 5.8 on IMDb. Then we have Never Been Chris'd. God, I did not like this one. So this is 2023. Home for the holidays, BFFs Naomi and Liz reconnect with their high school crush, Chris Silver. A complex love triangle forms, forcing them to take stock of their lives and find the value of friendship. This is the other Tyler Hynes one, and I'm sorry, but again, I did not like him in this movie. I'm sorry. Initially, I was like, oh, I like the idea of a movie that's focused more on friendship than a relationship, and they were like co-founders of a company. I was like, go Queen, slay. but everyone in this movie is insufferable. Like, all the side characters in this movie are insufferable. He's insufferable. There were so many good outfits in this movie. From like Liz and Naomi, they served so many good looks in this. I also liked that one family, so Naomi's family I think it is doing like Christmas, and then Liz's family is doing Hanukkah. So I liked, you know, that we got to see like the different traditions and celebrations and stuff, which I thought was cool. I literally said the only thing that this man has going for him is that he's vegan, because I'm vegan as well. Then not even like 20 minutes later, it turns out he's lying. He's a fake vegan. So now he didn't even have that like going for him. So I was like, this is ridiculous. We also had a fake out daydream kiss, which was wild. We hadn't had one of those before. Then we had a real kiss. So it was all going on. I also felt really bad for Liz. Like, her mother is so terrible to her. And also like Naomi isn't that great of a friend to her either. And then honestly, they were both kind of bad friends to each other. But like, the film doesn't portray it that way. It kind of portrays like one is more in the right than the other, whereas I felt like they were both kind of bad friends to each other. And they had this really intense argument, like the two girls. I was like, Jesus, this feels way too intense for a, you know, just like a Hallmark movie. I was not big on this one at all. I gave it like a 3 out of 10. I would not watch it again. It got a 5.5 on IMDb and a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. Then we have Sugar Plummed. So this is 2024. When Emily wishes for the perfect Christmas like the ones found in the popular Sugar Plum movies, she's shocked when a sugar plum herself appears to help her fulfill it. So Emily was played by Maggie Lawson. So this one was fun because it wasn't like a romance movie one. I think it's the only one on this list that isn't a romance movie. And I just loved the concept of this one. I thought it was so fun. But yeah, I loved the like meta idea of she loves Hallmark movies essentially. Like, she loves the Sugar Plum movies, but they're like basically Hallmark movies, but in a Hallmark movie. Does that make any sense? Anyway. And yeah, I love that. Like, she loves these like stereotypical Christmas rom-coms and all these Christmas tropes and all the things you see in Hallmark movies, like they're being poked fun at in here. So it's kind of like Scream. To compare a Hallmark movie to Scream is crazy, but it's like in Scream how Scream is a horror movie that is also essentially a parody of other horror movies. That's what this is like. It's like a Hallmark movie that's a parody of other Hallmark movies. But it was really fun.
Rule 63. No high-paying job can ever match the rewards of reuniting with a high school sweetheart.
Janelle genuinely knocked this one out of the park. In terms of acting, this is her best one. She is amazing in this movie. Her character, everything about it, like, it was so different. She was just fantastic in it. Also, the lead, Maggie Lawson, I literally thought she was Alicia Silverstone for like a good 10 minutes. Like, she looks just like her. There's also this moment where she has a mugshot taken and she poses all cute. Like, I think she's called Sugar Plum in this movie. I loved her. I literally was obsessed with her. But yeah, the mum, who's obviously like played by Maggie Lawson, I found her kind of unlikable, which brings like the movie down for me. Also, there was an evil British man. Like, really, are we still doing this? Anyway, so yeah, I really love Janelle in this movie and the Hallmark references and like the poking fun at the tropes. But outside of that, it wasn't my favourite. So it's a 7 out of 10. But I love Janelle so much. She really brought it up. And it also got a 7.1 on IMDb. And then the last one for Janelle is Christmas on Duty. This came out this year, 2025. Blair and Josh have been bitter rivals ever since they trained together at the basic school in Quantico. After graduation, Blair got Josh's dream job. They haven't spoken since. 3 years later, their paths cross unexpectedly at the base holiday party where the two get into an argument and cause a scene. As punishment, Blair and Josh are both assigned to Christmas duty, where they'll work through the Yuletide together for 24 hours straight. Love that. Enemies to lovers, confined space. We're back. I had like a little animated intro, which I thought was really cute. We don't usually see stuff like that. I thought that the army camp was a fun setting, rather than just the guy being in the army, which we've seen quite a few times. I loved their chemistry. Parker Young plays what is he called in this? Josh? Yes, Josh. So Parker Young plays Josh, and as I was watching this, I was like, I know this man. Do I know him from another Hallmark movie? Like, I was like, I've definitely seen him before. and I knew I recognized him. So he was in Sacha Baron Cohen's movie that she did last year, I think, called Image of You. It's a thriller. I really liked it. You should watch it. I recommend it. But he was in that. So I was like, I knew you. So he has another PLL link. Yeah, I thought their chemistry was great. Also, their dads hate each other. So it's like a forbidden love thing. There were so many good tropes in this one. And all the side characters were really good as well. Like the dads and her best friend Zoe. Like, all the acting was really great.
He also has a big heart and huge biceps, just saying.
Why would you just say that?
I immediately regret that.
Blair and Josh like dancing together was so cute. And this is another thing with these movies, is I wish that people got together sooner in them, because I wanted to see Josh and Blair like as a couple, not just the lead up and then they're a couple at the end. They had an okay first kiss, but the second kiss, like the final one before the movie finished, slayed. Great. 10 out of 10. Loved it.
Do you want to come over for Christmas?
Okay, so next up we have another queen of the Christmas movie, and that is Tori DeVito, and she played Melissa Hastings in Pretty Little Liars. So she also has 6 movies. If you see this woman's face, if you see Tori DeVito in a Christmas movie, you are going to have a great time. I don't think I have rated any of her Christmas movies less than a 9. She knocks it out of the park every single time. I love this woman, okay? So, let's get started. So first up, we have The Real Saint Nick. I think this came out in like 2012 or something. This is her oldest one. And it's not a Hallmark movie, but I don't think it's a Lifetime movie either. I'm not really sure which production company made it, but I'm glad that they did. So it's called The Real Saint Nick. The lead in this is Callard Harris. He was in 1 episode of The Vampire Diaries and 10 episodes of the original, so he does have a little link, and Tori DeVito was also in The Vampire Diaries for a little bit, so the links, I'm telling you, the links are all here, you just have to look for them. So a pretty psychiatrist is saved from an accident by a man who, after hitting his head on a rock, believes he is Santa Claus. As she nurses him back to health at her institute, he brings the Christmas spirit to the hospital. 5 minutes in, I was already obsessed with this movie. I already thought it was great. I thought it was also really fun seeing Roma, because she plays like Linda Tanner in Pretty Little Liars, but in this she was just like fun and like all cute, so that was fun to see her, you know, playing that role rather than like the serious thing. And this is also way before she was cast in PLL, so her and Melissa, they go way back.
Do you see that Jimmy on the floor?
I'm pretty sure that's Roberto.
No.
Yeah, I thought this movie was so funny. Like, it had so many good like quotable moments, which for a lot of these Hallmark movies, there was some like bits I thought were funny and like quotes that I wrote down, like, you know, maybe one per movie. This one was so much fun. I thought it was so funny.
You know, most great chefs are men.
As are most serial killers.
The only thing I will say is it does get really sad. This is the thing with these movies. So it got really sad all of a sudden. But it was also super endearing and it was really funny. And it wasn't like any Christmas movie I'd ever seen, and I really loved it. And I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was great. It got 5.7 on IMDb and a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, which you're just wrong. You're actually just wrong. Next up, we have our first Hallmark movie, and this is Best Christmas Party Ever. This is a 2014. Jenny Stanton aspires to lead her boss Petra's events business after she retires. However, when Petra's nephew Nick shows up, she is forced to work with him to organise the best Christmas party. Steve Lund, so I talked about him in one that he did with Jessica. I much preferred him in this. I thought he was really great in this. I thought their chemistry was great, like right from the get-go. It was like enemies to lovers banter. But he like went to bat for her. Like, he was so protective over her. Loved it. There was also great Christmas vibes here. Like, some of them you're like, oh, it's just snowing or it's just, you know, whatever. No, the Christmas vibes were great, and they were good Christmas vibes too. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, sometimes you can be super Christmassy but it still doesn't hit the same. This was really good. And it had like tropes we hadn't seen before, which was fun. Also, there was a really weird like glasses advert, like ad placement just in the middle of this, which was also hilarious. And the kiss was great too. This was a really good one. 9 out of 10. 33% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.4 on IMDb. It's rude. It's actually just rude. They are disrespecting my queen Tori DeVito, and I simply will not stand for it. So now we're going to talk about Right Before Christmas, which is the one that she did with Chad Michael Murray. Woo! When I tell you I was so excited for this movie, I was so excited for this movie, and it delivered, okay? This is such a good pairing. I need to see Tori DeVito and Chad Michael Murray in something again. I need it desperately. So, Jessica sends Christmas cards to 5 people who have greatly impacted her life, including the aunt who raised her, her brother, an aging pop star, the teacher that inspired her, and a friend that always tells the truth. I mean, it's a New York one, Christmas vibes right from the get-go. It was fabulous. She also, Tori DeVito just makes every lead so likable. It doesn't matter which character it is. She makes them so likable. The beginning of this movie had me so confused. Like, I was like, who is this guy? This isn't Chad. Then there's this army guy. And then I was like, where the hell's Chad? Wait, he's dead? Wait, no, he's not? I'm so confused. So yeah, there's a few different stories that overlap in this one, like almost like a Love Actually kind of vibe, where they're like all kind of connected, but you see like different stories throughout. I also said OMG, it's him from Devious Maids, so don't know what that meant. Actually, I think it might be the Hollywood guy, the guy who's also from Melrose Place. I think I'm talking about him. Anyway, I also said, oh my god, not him being called Luke again. I love Chad so much. Him and Tori is a dream team. Yep, it is. So yeah, you have like Carter is her brother, and then you have, so they're all, yeah, like kind of connected. Like I think we had 4 different kind of couples we were following, but Tori and Chad is the main one, like that's the lead.
I've got pepper spray.
Jessica Winthrop?
Santa?
Right. I'm coming from somewhere.
The North Pole?
North Side.
I was actually laughing out loud at this one. I thought this was really, really funny. Also, her writing the cards was so like, to all the boys I've loved before, even though this, I think, did this come out before that movie or after it? Oh, okay, so this came out the same year as To All the Boys I've Loved Before, so it was probably inspired by that, but I saw the link there. I really liked the pairing of Lila and Tom, and then Cara and Angie as well. You know, I was like, we're 3 for 3. Like, usually in these movies, like even in Love Actually, I love Love Actually, but there's storylines I don't care about. But I was like, I'm invested in all these people. Sure, why not? Also, there's this moment where Chad recites her favourite quote back to her, and I was like, swoon. It was so, so good. The only story I wasn't invested in was Jax's, the like, aging pop star storyline. That one I didn't really care for, to be honest. Also, in all caps, I have a kiss before the movie is over. I was like, oh my gosh, we are being treated in this one.
Did he see?
Who cares?
Also, did he see Who Cares? That eats. Like, that's something you would read in an Elsie Silver book. Like, that fucking eats. Yeah, we got 4 kisses in a Hallmark movie, because there was like a kiss for like each couple, and then also Chad and Nat kissed twice, so it was crazy. I was like, wow. Hallmark is pushing the boat out on this one. I loved this one. It's literally Hallmark's version of Love Actually. The only one I found a little boring was Jax's one, so I deducted a point for that. Otherwise, it would have been a 10 out of 10, so I gave it a 9 out of 10. Everything with Tori and Chad was just impeccable, and I want them to be paired together again. It got 6.8 on IMDb and 58 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is crazy. This deserves 100%. Bloody loved it. It ranked 24th on Slash Film's 25 Best Hallmark Movies, 17th on Variety's 25 Best Hallmark Movies, and 22nd on Entertainment Weekly's Best Hallmark Movies. And I think it's the only movie to appear on all 3 lists, so do with that what you will. So, next up we have The Christmas Promise. This is 2021. Nicole learns to deal with grief with the help of her grandfather and a carpenter she hires to renovate the home that was once meant for her and her fiancé. So I said, Tori is so pretty. Classic. I already think Nicole is one of my favourite lead characters we've had so far. She was great. I really liked her character in this movie. I literally said, Hallmark are sick and twisted for this story. What the fuck? They were literally engaged, talking about having kids in their beautiful house they just bought, and then he dies. So that's literally the opening to this movie, okay? Also, like, her friend Susan is the fucking worst. And if she hadn't sent the fiancé out to get ice, he'd be alive. So I literally would have never spoken to Susan again. So yeah, that's basically the gist. That's what happened. So she ends up being, I guess she's not technically a widow because they didn't get married, but you know what I'm saying. And so then she meets Joe. She basically begins texting with her fiance's, like, someone gets his phone, like he's given his number. And so they end up texting and whatever, and then she meets this, like, carpenter called Joe, and who's going to help her renovate the house because she wants to sell it. And they had such good chemistry. He was really, really sweet. He was played by Dylan Bruce, who I didn't see in another Hallmark movie after this, but I thought he was really good. I would watch more of his movies. I also said these fluffy dressing gowns, I'm obsessed. I want a really good dressing gown, so that's how you know you're getting old. I also said that the kiss scene was so good. Loved it. And he also makes her a mini version of her house, like, for her to keep as a gift. Oh my god, it was so... This movie was so good. And at this point, when I had, you know, was watching, I said, easily my favourite so far. Funny, emotional, great story, 10 out of 10. This is what I'm saying. Tori DeVito delivers 10 out of 10 movies, okay? She's never going to let you down. Even though it got 43% and 6.7. Fucking joke, okay? Fucking joke. Then we have 2 movies. She did 2 movies in 2022. She did 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. A former actress takes charge of a town's annual Christmas Eve courtroom production in which the true authorship of the famous poem A Visit from St. Nick is debated. And it is based on the play The Trial Before Christmas. This movie is based on that. So the love interest in this one, Connor, is played by Zane Holtz. Love him. First saw him as K.O. Kelly in Kate Keane, and he, you know, did a couple episodes of Riverdale as K.O. Kelly. Loved him in that. And she plays Madison in this movie. Let me tell you something. I thought everyone in this town was so fucking weird. Like, especially Lena and Jefferson are insufferable. So I was like, everyone in this town is weird. Everyone's insufferable. Like, is this going to be the first Tori one that I don't like? But as it went on, I actually started to like them. And I said, oh, I'm obsessed with these two. These are easily my favourite couple yet.
Probably get you a matching apron if you like.
Are you flirting with me?
Do you want me to be?
It was so good, guys. This one was so good. And it was really different because it was like they were putting on this play, but it was also debating the kind of rights and who originally wrote the story, and it was really good. Like, I feel like it sounds boring when I'm explaining it, but it was genuinely really good. And yeah, there was lots of Christmassy vibes. I thought this one was so well done. Like, even just they had like Christmas colours in all their outfits, but it was just like subtle. Like, they would have, yeah, like dark green, red, like just in their outfits and stuff. Like, it was so cohesive. Everything looked great. And like the B&B they were staying in was decorated so cute, and all the like baking and decorating the tree, like all the activities that they did was so cute. And there was no conflict in this movie. A revelation. Movies need to do this, okay? Because this movie was great and I loved it. And I just loved them as a couple. There was no conflict. It was fabulous. Also, he was a single dad, I'm pretty sure, and had a daughter. It's gonna work every time, guys. It's gonna work every time. I said obsessed, loved it, 10 out of 10. And I stand by that. It got 6.7 and it got 55%. Again, bloody joke. Then we have our last Tori DeVito one, which is A Rip in Time. This is a 2022. This is our second Nile Matter movie, and I loved him in this as well. I thought he was great. So, when organic farmer Sarah meets a man who claims to be from 1787, she soon discovers old-fashioned romantic feelings that may just be as crazy as his story. I said, this one's so bizarre. Easily the most bizarre storyline so far, but it's kind of fun, and it's so different from the others that I kind of like it. and I ended up really liking it. These two were so cute, like right off the bat, it was great. For me, Tori DeVito is my Hallmark queen. Okay, I'm telling you, she is just fabulous in all of these movies. We did have a villain this time. It was Ted, like her ex-boyfriend. He was relentless. He was awful. He was so obsessive and he was ruining everything and I hated him. They also, oh my god, they had a kiss in the rain. I think this may be our only kiss in the rain, which is crazy. Like, obviously, we've had 1,000,001 kisses in the snow. But, like, I think this is our only kiss in the rain. I loved it. I thought it was great. Oh, and the ending, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but the ending actually made me really emotional. I think I might have cried at this one. But I said this one was really, really good. The only thing was the Christmassy vibes were lacking a little. So I gave it a 9 out of 10 rather than a 10 out of 10. It got a 6.8 and it got a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is good for a Hallmark movie and deserved. I think this might have been a Hallmark, like, movies and mystery one. I'm not entirely sure. But it was really good. Next up, we have Tammin Sursok. So she played the iconic Jenna Marshall. And she's only done one so far, but I could see her being a mainstay. I could see her doing quite a few more of these. So we had a trivia at St. Nick's in 2024. And I mean, come on. This is like the James Denton, Terry Hatcher one. Like, are you kidding me? Noel and Jenna in the same movie? I was seated. So, locals compete in a Christmas bar trivia tournament at the end of the semester. That's all you've got to go on. I thought that, so they're basically both teachers. He, I think, teaches gym and she is like an astronomy teacher. So I thought that was really cool. I thought she was super likable. I thought he was super likable. Her dedication to the quiz world, I feel that because I get highly invested and highly competitive when it comes to quizzes. And honestly, like, Noel and Jenna had great chemistry, I thought, in PLL. I can't believe they didn't end up together. So that carried into this. And they had great chemistry in this as well. And honestly, this was a fun plot. I liked it. We hadn't seen anything like this where it's, you know, a Christmas quiz thing or like teachers. You know, it's always the same kind of molds that we tend to see. So I thought this was fun. The green screen, guys. These green screens in these movies, like, how are we in 2024 and they're still so bad? The kiss was also 10 out of 10. It was great. They also had a round in the quiz that was like Hallmark Christmas movie themed, which I also thought was like a cute little nod because obviously it's a Hallmark movie. They also had 2 other couples that we were kind of following. It wasn't a full Love Actually vibe where you fully see them and like follow them, but you just kind of, they're in and around. And I liked both of those as well. Yeah, Max and Celeste, I gave this a 10 out of 10. I would definitely rewatch it. I think if you're a PLL fan, especially, it's really good. My fiance gave this a 7 out of 10, which might not sound high, but that's, I'm pretty sure, the highest score that he has given to any of these movies. So it's legit. But IMDb gave it a 5.9, which I think is too low. And then we have Julian Morris, who obviously played Ren Kingston. Love him. So he has done 2 projects. First up, we have A Royal Queen's Christmas, which is a Hallmark movie that aired in 2021. A prince finds his way to Queens during Yuletide when a local woman enlists his help with a children's Christmas show. First off, the butler in this movie, I don't even know how many times he's played a butler in these movies. Like, you start to see the same side and background characters in like these Hallmark movies. You start to pick them out in other ones as well. I said Julian is as cute as ever. Like, love him. So Megan Park is in this, and she's like teen royalty adjacent. Because she's married to Tyler Hilton from One Tree Hill, and she also starred in A Cinderella Story with Lucy Hale. So she's honorary teen drama royalty. But I felt like the real thick, like, New York accent just didn't really fit her that well. And also, in what world was I supposed to believe that these were her parents? Like, the casting didn't even try with this one. I also thought Julian was great in this. I think he's such a sweetie. And I think he's a really good actor. I'm surprised, like, you know, we don't see him in more stuff. And it felt super Christmassy. It was really, really fun. Also, this is, again, a personal nitpick, but I always hate fake British accents. I think they're atrocious. So his being a real British accent, it just brought me so much joy. And I feel like there's still obviously like British stereotypes from the other characters, which I was like, you know, roll my eyes. And I want to know if you've seen this movie and you're from Queens. Like, do you feel the same way? Because there was a lot of things that seemed like stereotypical, like in terms of, you know, that really thick accent and the things they would say. And I'm like, do people from Queens, did they feel the same way watching this movie where they're like, that is so annoying? Well, the way I did about like the British stereotypes. But overall, that stuff aside, I thought it was good. It was Dee Dee and Colin. Those were our, which is so like, I mean, come on. Like that just sums it up, didn't it? But I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good and I would rewatch it. IMDb gave it a 6.5. Then we had another TV series, which again, you know, I could do a deep dive into the Hallmark TV series next year. But this had 6 episodes. It's called 12 Dates Till Christmas. It came out this year. So like Julian just plays one of the dates. So because he wasn't a main character, I didn't feel like it was worth watching within this list. Then we have Brant Doherty, and I love him, okay? I loved Noel. I'm not going to get into... The thing is, anytime I talk about Pretty Little Lies, I go off on such a huge tangent, so I'm not going to. But I think they ruined Noel's character. Anyway, that's a video for another day. First up, we have Mingle All the Way. This is 2018. Molly is forced by her investor to test an app she designed which matches busy professionals. But the app matches her with a man she has already had 2 disastrous encounters with. So this is Molly and Jeff. Molly is played by Jen Lilly, who we saw in USS Christmas, across from Trevor Donovan. This was a rough one. So I was like, we're already off to a bad start because I hate blue Christmas decor. And I can't lie, I do. For me, it's red, it's green. It's like, you can have... Like, if you want to do colourful lights, that's also fine, you know? Because you get blue and colourful lights. Like, if you're doing that kind of thing, I love it. I think it's cheesy. I think it's great. But blue Christmas, I hate. I hate, like, white-toned lights. I hate blue lights. I hate white Christmas trees. It's like the most happy time of the year, and I'm like, I hate this. Yeah, actually miss me with that. I'm sorry. If that's how your house is decorated, no shade, but... It's got to be a green tree. It's got to be, yeah, like golds, reds. Like, you can have like white and silver accents or like blue accents, but I'm not about that icy Christmas decor. Anyway, I also thought her mum was super annoying. I said, this girl's glasses are so distracting. The glare on them, like how did someone in the prop department not fix that? So basically it's about an app called Mingle All the Way, and it's for +1. So it's like people that are really busy can go on there and basically match with other people that are really busy and basically do them a favor by being their +1 to like a work Christmas party or a family whatever. So that's like the premise basically. I think this is the first movie that I watched in this list where I didn't like either of the leads. I thought they were both unlikable. They were both kind of assholes, to be honest. They would do things that were so annoying. Like, she put something down in a shop and then was annoyed that somebody else bought it. He was annoyed at her for using him, but then she also he was annoyed at her for using him. But then he also basically used her. Like, it was the same thing. They were both annoyed at each other, even though they'd done the same thing. So yeah, this was just, oh gosh, this was such a frustrating watch. It was one of those where it's like, there's the conflict, it could be so easily resolved. Like, if we just spoken to each other. I said, God, this one's real bad. This is a tough watch. The POC best friend trope, that struck again. The only thing that I did think was cute is that on their first date, he joked about matching his tie to her dress. And now, like, they don't mention it, but he does. Like, at the end, they match. And I thought that was a cute detail. I'll give him that. But the whole reveal was so awkward. The kiss was so awkward. And I gave it a 2 out of 10. I was like, this is rough. This is one of the worst that I've seen. But IMDb gave it a 6.8 and it got 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, so... Who am I, you know? Who am I in the world of reviewing Hallmark movies? Next up, we have hashtag Xmas. This is 2022. When interior designer Jen is selected for a social media competition for a design brand, she poses as an influencer with her best friend playing her husband and her nephew as her baby. So this was Jen and Max, and Jen was played by Claire Bowen. I actually really liked this one. I wasn't expecting to be honest with you, but I did. I thought that Jen was super likable. I think Claire Bowen, the actress, did a great job of playing her. It felt different, like, I don't know, the way it was filmed or like the plot, like it just felt different and kind of like refreshing for a Hallmark movie, because like I said, I'd seen so many of these at this point. But yeah, the mother-daughter like struggle, their dynamic, it was well done. Yeah, it was like a fun premise. It's basically, yeah, she fakes her life for this like social media competition. And yeah, I don't know, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I gave it an 8 out of 10. But it was a 5.8 on IMDb and a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I liked it. I thought it was good. You know, like the fake boyfriend, fake husband thing, like, yeah, that's always going to be a trope I'm going to like. And then the last one we're going to talk about is Joy Noel. This was 2023. When a romantic painting of a Christmas market captures the imagination of copy editor Leah, she is sent to France with pragmatic reporter Mark to uncover the mystery behind the artist. And this one was actually written by Brant and his wife Kimberly, which is kind of cute. So he wrote this and then was able to star in it. This also has JC, who was in Grey's, and I really loved her in Grey's, so I was excited to see her. I honestly thought JC and Brant had great chemistry. I thought they were really, really good. I thought the French setting was really fun as well, because basically all of these, I mean, they're all like filmed in Canada, but they're all set in the US. So I loved the like French setting. I think it would be fun to see Christmas movies like set in other countries. And with the Christmas markets and everything, it was a really fun, you know, change up. I thought the kiss was great as well. It was super cute. This is the only film in the list where the lead could be considered plus size, which isn't even really, like, this is like, we're talking normal, you know, healthy body here, but obviously in the world of beauty standards, and yeah, this is the only one. And I think, I mean, it's all movies across the board, to be honest with you. The Netflix originals, the Lifetime ones, the Hallmark ones, like especially Great American Family, all of them need to get better at that. Like, I feel like the diversity is slowly getting better, like in terms of race and LGBT representation, but in terms of like body diversity, like it is dire out here. It's absolutely dire. But I think, I mean, that's kind of like TV and movie across the board, to be honest with you, but yeah. And I gave this one a 7 out of 10, and IMDb gave it a 6.1, and Trivia at St. Nick is the last one that he did, but obviously we just talked about that one, and I loved it, so let's move on. In terms of Pretty Little Liars miscellaneous ones, Natalie Hall, who played Kate Randall, Hannah's stepsister, she did, you know, A Very Charming Christmas Town. She did Knoll Next Door. She did Unwrapping Christmas. I think she did 3 of those, maybe. Then for Ravenswood, the PLL spin-off, we had Merritt Patterson. She's done a bunch. She did The Christmas Cottage, which ranked 8th on Variety's best Hallmark movies. Christmas at the Palace, Picture a Perfect Christmas, Chateau Christmas, Gingerbread Miracle. She did one with Trevor Donovan where I was like, oh, great, like, so I can cross 2 off my list, but it was a Great American Family one, so I didn't end up watching that. She's also moved to Great American Family now, so is what it is. Then for Original Sin, the PLL reboot, we obviously have Bailey Madison. Love her. She's done Pete's Christmas, North Pole Open for Christmas, and Holiday Joy. Derek Kleiner, also from Original Sin, did Private Princess Christmas, and then Eric Johnson from Original Sin did Call Me Mrs. Miracle, Deck the Halls, and Oh Christmas Tree. Then we're moving on to Riverdale. God, I fucking love Riverdale, man. Riverdale is so good. I need to make more videos about Riverdale. First up, we have Madeline. Actually, I think this is the only one. The only one in Riverdale we have is Madeline Pesh. Every time I see Madeleine Petsch, I'm actually starstruck by her. Like, I'm in awe of how gorgeous she is. It's actually ridiculous. Okay. So she has only done the one. She did Hotel for the Holidays, which was 2022 on Freevee. She's done a couple Amazon originals. I just watched her in Maintenance Required. She slayed. She ate. She did so good. So in this one, Georgia is the manager of a hotel in New York, and the chef Luke has a crush on her. She wants to open a branch of the hotel, but the owner says she has to come up with half the money. We had so many side characters in this. We had Milton the maintenance guy, the lady who was the bartender, Kiki, Prince Raymond, Pandora and her assistant, a guy with a dog called Dickens, like, and he ends up, you know, getting a boyfriend. Like, it's kind of Love Actually vibes in that everyone kind of crosses over, but it's not done that well. And I didn't really care about all the side characters. I just kind of cared about Madeleine Petsch's character. But I do love an old people romance, so that did get point. Basically, Georgia is trying to convince Prince Raymond to... He's kind of supposed to be like Harry, like Prince Harry, I think, because he's just left the, you know, royal family. And she's trying to get him to invest in the hotel, and Luke thinks they're dating, and he gets all jealous, and it's not great, guys. It's not great, I'll be honest with you. Also, the new hotel was so ugly and modern, and I loved the older one. And everyone makes Georgia feel so bad. Like, for just wanting to own a hotel and, like, have her own career. They make her feel so bad for leaving. It's like, fuck all of you. Also, not with that hairstyle, Kiki. Like, you can't be telling anyone what to do with that. That's crazy. The only other note I have is that the actress that played Pandora is so gorgeous. We also had a proposal, which is crazy because we never get proposals in these, which is so funny. You'd think that Hallmark and like Christmas and it would be a big proposal, but you never see them because in all of these movies, everyone's always like just met. So you never really see proposals. But yeah, this one was okay. I would probably give it like I think I gave it like a 6 out of 10, a 5 maybe. I don't know if I would watch it again. Maybe I would just for Madeleine, to be honest with you. Then we're going to talk about the Vampire Diaries. That's our last show that we're talking about today. First up, we have Nina Dobrev, who obviously played both Catherine and Elena on the Vampire Diaries. For her, we just have one. This is a Netflix original. It's called Love Hard, that came out in 2021. And this is our only Asian male lead. He is Jimmy O Yang in this movie as Josh, and she plays Natalie. And it's basically, she thinks she's going to meet this guy who is like Paxton from Never Have I Ever. Gorgeous. But it turns out she's being catfished, and it's actually Josh, Jimmy O Yang's character. And it's kind of like shenanigans ensue from there. She starts to date she wants to date like the real guy, but then it's a whole thing. I'll be honest with you, I watched this one last Christmas after, like I didn't even watch this for the video. I think my parents just like were gonna watch it. We were like, oh, like let's just watch a Christmas movie, and we watched this one. And I think I liked it and found parts of it funny, but clearly I wasn't that wowed by it because I don't really remember it. So I guess I just go with an even 5. I'm sorry if I really liked this. If I go back and I really like this movie, then that's my bad. I'm sorry I don't remember it. Then, last but not least, we have Kat Graham. Gorgeous. She obviously played Bonnie. She's done 2. Both were Netflix originals. Again, I didn't get around to watching these because I didn't prioritize Netflix ones, but I do really want to watch these, especially the holiday calendar. That sounds like up my street. So that was her first one in 2018. A photographer discovers the antique advent calendar she inherited seems to predict her future, including a budding romance. The lead in this is played by Quincy Brown. Then we have Operation Christmas Drop, which is 2020. Congressional aide Erica Miller lands at a beachside Air Force base where she clashes with Captain Andrew over his pet project, Operation Christmas Drop. I feel like I just said a bunch of words I didn't even understand. But this is Alexander Ludwig. And yeah, they're both Christmas originals. We do have a few miscellaneous ones. So we have Sean Faris, who was in Pretty Little Liars, The Vampire Diaries, and One Tree Hill. He did Christmas with Holly and A Veteran's Christmas. Then we have Ariel Cabell, I think is how you say it. She's a teen drama icon. She's been in 90210, The Vampire Diaries, and Gilmore Girls. She did A Bride for Christmas, 4 Christmases and a Wedding, Thank God Christmas at Keller Ranch. Bloody hell, that came out this year, and that also starred Tyler Hilton from One Tree Hill. So links all over the place, baby. Then we have Amanda Schull, who was in Pretty Little Liars and also One Tree Hill. She played Meredith in Pretty Little Liars, and she did Project Christmas Wish. Then we had Sam Page, who was in Gossip Girl and also Desperate Housewives. He did Christmas in Rome, A Godwink Christmas, Second Chance, First Love. These sound like Temu listings. Joy for Christmas, Rescuing Christmas, and Deck the Halls on Cherry Lane, which I did check. Did not star James Denton because I thought, oh my god, too, but no. Same series, but he wasn't in that one. Then we have Megan Park, who, like I said, is also teen drama royalty. She was also in The Secret Life of the American Teenager, which is, I mean, that's like, I feel like that's so underrated. I feel like nobody talks about that. It was absolutely wild. She was in Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas, obviously A Royal Queen's Christmas, which we talked about, My Christmas Love, and The Road to Christmas. I also wanted to give a shout out to a movie that I recently watched, which I didn't watch for this video, but I was just, in a Christmassy mood, called The Family Stone. This came out in 2005. It had Rachel McAdams, who obviously was in Mean Girls, Dermot Mulroney, who was in Friends, Sarah Jessica Parker, who's obviously from Sex and the City, Luke Wilson, who was in Charlie's Angels, and Elizabeth Reza, who was in Twilight. And I was like, this cast is just absolutely iconic. Also, it's got Diane Keaton in it. Oh, love. Rest in peace. I thought I would just recommend that to you guys because it was kind of sad though, but it was also really funny and it was pretty good. I really liked it. So now we're going to talk about the Hallmark Wrapped. Okay, guys, are we ready? So here's what I noticed while watching these movies. So in terms of TV shows, Pretty Little Liars came in number 1 with the most at 25. Then we had 90210 with 19, One Tree Hill with 18, Desperate Housewives with 9, The Vampire Diaries and Gossip Girl tied with 3, and then Riverdale with just the 1. In terms of the 50 states, the most common setting was New York by a landslide with 11. Next we had Connecticut with 5, California with 4, Colorado, Illinois, Louisiana, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Washington with 3 apiece. Oregon with 2, and then Vermont, North Carolina, Maryland, Maine, Indiana, Arizona, and Alaska with all 1. And then the other states, it's kind of hard sometimes because they kind of, I feel like purposefully sometimes don't say where they're set. So I could have missed some because I was like Googling for some and whatever, so I could have missed it, but these were the ones where it was kind of clear where it was set. Then we have other lead actors. So the only actress to appear twice in this list was Jen Lilly, like I said, USS Christmas and Mingle All the Way, I think it was called. And yeah, so she was the only actress that appeared twice. But then we had Tyler Hines appeared twice, Daniel Lissing appeared twice, Noah Matter appeared twice, Steve Lunt appeared twice, and so did Tyler Hilton. My personal favourites in terms of like actors that I hadn't chosen for this video, you know what I mean? Going in were Andrew Walker, Britt Robertson, Brooke d'Orsay, Chris Carmack, Claire Bowen, Ezra Morland, JC Elliott, Kendrick Sampson, Kim Matula, Megan Park, Mario Lopez, Noah Matter, Rachel Scarston, and Zane Holtz. They were kind of my favourites from the leads that obviously I didn't pick. Then in terms of names, these were our most popular names. These are names that showed up more than once. So we have Adam, Eric, Ethan, Seth, and William appeared twice. Then we had Kevin and Nick with 3 male leads with that name. Then our most popular names appeared 4 times. We had Josh/Joshua, so I counted them for both, Jack, Luke, and Max. Then for the ladies, we had Haley, which appeared twice, Catherine appeared twice, Mia appeared twice, and Sarah appeared twice, but Lucy was by far our most popular name, with 3 of our leading ladies being called Lucy. In terms of occupations, this is for the girly pops. So yeah, these are occupations that showed up more than once. We had 2 doctors, 3 lawyers, 4 publicists, 4 like tech website, you know, that kind of thing, girlies, women in STEM, big ups. We had 5 either like cafe restaurant owners or workers, 5 interior designers, 5 journalists, 5 musicians, 5 shop owners or like they worked in a shop, 5 teachers, 6 advertising girly pops, 6 event planners, and by far the most at 10 was a writer or like editor. And then for the lads, it was a lot more skewed. We had 2 artists, 2 lawyers, 3 shop owners, 3 actors, 3 teachers, 3 musicians, 4 doctors, 4 photographers, 6 in the army, 7 writers, 9 carpenters, and 11 like company higher ups, usually like finance, banking, that kind of thing. I feel like with the girlies, we had a lot more variety to our careers. With the men, not so much. Then in terms of hair color, so in terms of all the movies on this list, we had 58% brunette, 36 blonde, and 5 redhead. But I felt like that was obviously definitely skewed because I was picking the actresses, right? So we have Lucy Hale, we have Shay Mitchell, we have Janelle Parrish. You know, I picked a lot of brunettes. So then I went through and found, I just did the movies where I did not choose the female lead. And then we saw the real tea. So then it became blondes 73%, brunettes 15%, and redheads 10%, which I feel like is definitely a more accurate representation of the Hallmark lifetime beauty standard. Then, so in terms of diversity, like it is very white. You know, I kind of only started to see consistent POC leads past 2018, and even then it's obviously still less frequent than white. And then from like 2022, you know, I looked at some of the other movies that were released that year, not just the teen drama movies, and we are seeing, you know, more variety. Like I said, this is skewed because I'm obviously looking for specific actors from predominantly white shows, so I am more just looking at the leads, the other leads that are cast in these movies with them. So this isn't the best judge of representation across like all Hallmark movies. But, you know, for the most part, the POC characters do tend to be best friends or sidekicks. And to be honest, even when I looked at the 2024 lineup, there was only a handful of POC leads. There is Bet Plus, which does Christmas movies and entertainment that's focused more around Black culture with Black actors. So that's really cool. So Tristan Wilds, who was in 90210. He did one of those Christmas movies called The Day Before Christmas in 2024. In terms of the leads, we had 64 white women and 64 white men. Then we had 2 Latin American men, 5 Chinese American women, but that's because it was like Janelle Parrish. So that's also kind of skewed. Then we had 1 Chinese American leading man, which was in Love Hard. We had 2 black female leads. We had 4 black male leads. And I will say these leads came from Lifetime Discovery and Netflix movies and Freevee movies. They did not come from Hallmark movies. The black leading men, Latin American leading men, and Chinese leading man, they all came from those movies, not Hallmark movies. And then our only black leading women came from ABC Family with Christina Milian, who is technically a co-lead with obviously Ashley Benson, and then Netflix, where Kat Graham was our leading star. And going through all of the Hallmark movies, it took me until 2020, so about 240 movies in. Okay, 240 Hallmark movies into production for me to see an interracial couple on the cover, like on the main cover. And then in 2021, we got a movie with an Asian lead and also a film focused on Hanukkah. So yeah, like I said, past 2020, we're starting to see a little more, but it's still not as much as you would like. So in terms of disabilities, I didn't see any. There was one, I think it was Snowed in Christmas, where they did use sign language with one of the side characters. But in terms of main characters, and honestly, yeah, even side characters in all the other films, there is no kind of disability representation. The kind of only things of note, like, I don't even want to call them things of note, because it's just like usual, like, standard life things, but I guess, you know, not typical. There was a couple of adoption stories, but even then not really. Like, we had Holly and Ivy, and then in I Kiss Before Christmas, James Dent and Terry Hatcher, their children are adopted, so there's that. There's also nobody with tattoos or dyed hair or different body types. Absolutely not. So yeah, like I said, there was a little boy in Snowed in Christmas who was deaf, and the characters used sign language, but he wasn't a main cast member. So yeah, if you're looking for, like, yeah, tattoos, dyed hair, different body types, non kind of like nuclear families, you're not you're not gonna get it here, essentially. So yeah, even though from like 2020 onwards we're starting to see more with LGBT stories, interracial couples, or also just like, you know, we don't really see a lot where it's both leads a POC. That's something that we're still not really seeing. But the huge glaring problem, like, still, that has not been rectified at all, has to be the body type representation. You know, like I said, it wasn't until 2022 that Hallmark had its first, like, plus size star with JC. But also, like, I don't even really want to talk about her being the first, like, plus size lead in my review, because that's not something that should be the focus, really. And, like, I feel like it kind of takes away from how good she is in this movie. Like, all the press around that movie was, oh my gosh, like, Hallmark's first plus-size lead. And it's like, it's kind of crazy, really. Like, when we think about representation, that it's, you know, and, like, I don't know. I just think the whole, I can't get into beauty standards and body standards and everything in this video, because it will just make me so utterly depressed with how the world is at the minute in terms of that and social media. But yeah, the fact that that was like basically the tagline of this movie is just utterly ridiculous. But also, it means fuck all if you don't follow it up with more leads. Like, this is the only time, I think JC has starred in another Hallmark movie that was not a Christmas one, but it's like, there are other, you know, plus size actors, and also like actors who are bigger sizes as well, because, you know, I don't know, I just it doesn't sit right with me that JC being cast was like this, like, advertises this huge revolutionary thing, this huge deal. It doesn't sit right with me because she's like so gorgeous and she could have been cast so long ago. And like, I feel like she aligns with more standard size, like in day-to-day life, you know, not on Instagram. It's kind of like an average sized woman, and it's like plus sized woman. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just like, just a bit sick of it, to be honest. Because also, you know, probably a good amount of Hallmark viewers don't fit in with the Hallmark beauty standard. So I just feel like, you know, we need to do better. We need to do better. Yeah, I looked at the 2024 lineup when I, you know, wrote this up last year, and there were no plus size leads for that year. Also, there's no plus size actors. That's another thing. Like, the representation is already bad enough for the women, but there's none for the men. And also, this was like the first ever time that they'd had a plus size actress, technically, in Hallmark, like, Christmas movie. But the first time they'd cast her in a movie was actually another movie she did, I think, in 2023. But it was about being plus size. So it wasn't just like, oh, you know, they've cast her in this romance movie, like, that's so great. It was like, the movie was literally about being plus size. So I'm going to read you the description. Ella's unique designs inspire publishing mogul Derek to include plus-sized fashions in his magazines. Like, why couldn't it have just been a regular Hallmark movie? Also, in, like, Joy Noelle, he already knows her, and there's no romantic connection there, like, in the beginning. It just forms after being in France together. But I would love to see where the lead is, like, smitten with the plus size, you know, actor or actress from the beginning, or like sees them for the first time and is like falls in love with them, rather than like, oh, but you know, they learn to love it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it just like plays more into like the, oh, plus size is like non-conventionally attractive, but like he fell in love. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all that bullshit. Anyway, let's move on. Rant over. So, in terms of like plots, for the main goal of the movie, the majority of the time it was following the character just through the Christmas season. So that was 22%. Then at 14%, we had produce a Christmas show. And this could have been a TV show, a play, a festival, a Christmas parade, something like that, a choir. A job deadline, so the main goal is kind of pushed forward by, I need to finish this story before Christmas. I need to finish this before Christmas, you know, like that kind of thing. Then we also have a magical mission, which is what I kind of just called the fantasy ones. So, like the Ghosts of Christmas Always, like the Naughty or Nice ones, anything that's kind of like a magical story. And then 10% of the time, it was to get someone in the Christmas spirit. That's a classic. They love that. Then save a business is classic. Like that's the stereotypical Hallmark save a business one. Then we also had a fake family and relationship was 8% of the time. And I love this trope, so I was here for that. Then, did they have any children? So 75% of the time, the leads did not have children. Then 11% of the time, they had one daughter, so they were a single parent. 6.8% of the time, they had one son. And then 6.8% of the time they had two children. Then we have circumstances. So this is how our leads kind of like know each other. So 41% of the time they were total strangers when they meet in this movie. Then 16% of the time the love interest works with their family or knows their family or a friend of theirs. That's kind of their link. 15% of the time it was enemies to lovers. 8% of the time it was friends to lovers. almost 10% of the time it was exes. Then 4% of the time they were already together when the movie began. And 4% of the time they were childhood friends that were reunited. Then death. As I said, these movies are like, they can be kind of intense, and I guess, and also I would say a little bit triggering if you are sensitive to grief and things like that around Christmas. Because only in 40% of these movies is everyone alive and everything is fine, which feels like not a lot. 19% of the time, the lead's mother is deceased. 16.5% of the time, the lead's father is deceased. 11% of the time, both of their parents are deceased, and 12.7% of the time, they are a widow or widower and their partner is deceased. So, yeah, a little intense sometimes. Then, in terms of the main conflict of the movie, 25% of the time, it's a misunderstanding, which is classic. It's so classic, it's got to be the worst form of conflict. 20% of the time, it was boyfriend or girlfriend involvement. 20% of the time, it was dishonesty between the leads. 13% of the time, it was kind of like a family clash, so their families didn't like each other or something like that. 13% of the time, it was a career opportunity that they had been offered, and then it's like, are they going to take it? Are they going to leave? You know, classic. Then 6.87% of the time, it was distance. So it's like, oh, you live in the big city, I live in the small town. Then, this is my favourite bit, things we almost always see. So, we have, it snows, buying and decorating the tree, one or both of the couple denies liking each other. God damn, we see that all the time. Baking and decorating cookies, big city girl goes back to visit small hometown, then leaves her job to move back to said small town. Yep. Some kind of Christmas performance. We love some of that, singing at the piano or the Christmas choir or the children's, Christmas production. We have an almost kiss. It's usually almost interrupted by somebody. Sometimes it's interrupted by a loud noise. Take your pick. Somebody says best Christmas ever. We see that a lot. We have raising money for a charity or to save a business. This is all the bloody time. It's literally, I would say, pretty much every movie. Then we have drinking wine. It's usually red, you know, keeping in with the Christmas theme. Having hot chocolate, often peppermint hot chocolate, and it always has to have whipped cream on it. And then lastly we have, then we have someone plays the piano, which kind of is in that Christmas performance thing. Someone plays the piano or sings. Those can be a tough watch. And then lastly, we always get, like, so many times we get, Merry Christmas, Max. Merry Christmas, Madison. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're about to kiss and it's like, Merry Christmas, you. Merry Christmas, you. What else do we have? We also have, usually, like, one is super into Christmas, but the other love interest isn't super into Christmas. Really, like, overbearing or worried parents, or parents that are, like, super into Christmas. Like I said, saving a business, but also a building is being sold or closed. We're talking toy shops, childhood homes, community centres, charities, you name it. It's been saved in a Hallmark movie before. Also with, you know, it snows, snowstorm, stops all travel. Stops all flights, stops, you know, whatever. We've seen a few of those. More quotes, you know, we have You're What I Want for Christmas, You Make Me Happy, Oh, I Found You for Christmas, I Know What I Want for Christmas and It's You, the classics. Also, these movies end so abruptly. It's literally, they get together, kiss, bam, credits. It's all lead up. We don't see any relationship. That's what I want to see. That's my request for next year is more body diversity, race diversity, LGBT representation, all the classics, all the things that obviously we want. But also, I want to see a movie where we watch them as a couple the whole time. You'd think these movies would be like a breeding ground for proposals because proposal is like a big, you know, romantic moment. But I think I only saw 2 throughout the 56 that I watched. And I never saw any pregnancies. It's because it's all lead up. So this is what we need. We need a movie where the couple starts out already together. I would like that. And I know this kind of contradicts what I just said about more representation, but I do want to see a Tori DeVito, Chad Michael Murray Christmas movie again. I do. I think they were such good leads together. Also Jessica Lowndes and Chad Michael Murray, they were also really, really great leads. My Christmas Kings. So for me, my Christmas Kings are Ian Harding and Chad Michael Murray. I think they are the perfect leads. I think their acting is always great. I know I'm going to love a movie basically if they're in it. They're so likable. They're great. Cast them in all the Christmas movies. My Christmas Queens. We have Tori DeVito. She reigns supreme. Love her. Then Jessica Lowndes and Bethany Joy Lenz. They're kind of like tied together. It's Tori and then it's Jessica and Bethany together. Because yeah, we've seen like so good. And they're so good in these movies as well. Like their acting is really, really good. Now we're getting into my top 15 Christmas movies. So at number 15, we have The Real Saint Nick. Number 14, we have Happy Holidays. 13, A Carpenter Christmas Romance. 12, Her Magical Christmas. 11, Trivia at St. Nick's. 10, A Rip in Time. 9, Right Before Christmas. 8, Xmas. 7, Too Close for Christmas. 6, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. 5, The Christmas Promise. 4, Ghost of Christmas Always. 3, I think that's supposed to say A Biltmore Christmas. 3, A Biltmore Christmas. 2, Snowed In Christmas. And number 1 is Naughty or Nice. So that is my recommendation to you. If you're going to watch any of these movies, watch these 15. So yes, that is finally the end of this video. I'm literally like, I can't believe I've actually finished filming it because I have been sat here for like 5 hours and it's so late. I really hope you guys like this video. It took so much effort. Like I said, I watched 56 Christmas movies. It took so much research. It took so much everything. Like, oh God, I hope you guys like this video. Okay, anyway, yeah. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. Share it with someone who also likes Hallmark movies. And yeah, let me know, like, next year, do you want to see a deep dive into, like, I know there's the Netflix, like, Christmas cinematic universe, and they're all kind of, like, linked, like the Princess Switch and all that. A ranking of just, like, Netflix, like, freebie Prime original Christmas movies, or a ranking of all the Christmas Hallmark movies for 2026, like, no matter who the actors are. Or maybe I could try and find, you know, a different set of teen dramas to look at, like the OC, Gilmore Girls, you know, something like that. Or yeah, you know, One Tree Hill Christmas movie deep dive, or finding Mr. Christmas deep dive, or watching the Hallmark Christmas TV shows instead. Like, let me know, because these videos take a long time, so it will be a year in the making. But yeah, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I have such a headache. My lipstick is gone. My fiance, bless him, he literally brought me this sandwich to eat like 5 hours ago. I haven't even touched it. I'm starving. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you've seen these movies. Which ones did you like? Did you agree with my top 10? And I hope you guys have, if you celebrate, I hope you guys have a lovely Christmas. And let me know, let me know what movies you do like, if they're Hallmark ones, or just, you know, Home Alone, Love Actually, I don't care, let me know. Because if I haven't seen them, I'm going to add them to my watch list, because I love a Christmas movie. So yeah, I also have Patreon, so you can go and subscribe to that. You can follow me on Instagram. I have LaurenDaisy27, which is kind of like me and stuff. And then I have Lauren in Rosewood, which is more PLL stuff, like, you know, YouTube stuff, that kind of thing. You can also follow me on TikTok. I also have Lauren's Vegan Bakery, where I bake things. Now I'm just yapping, because I'm like, I've spoken for so long, like, I don't know how to stop. But yeah, I have some really fun videos planned that are coming, and I'm really excited about. But yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely Christmas. Sending you lots of love. If this is a hard time of year for you, if this is your favorite time of year, anything. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Look at my nails. They slay so hard. Oh my gosh.
Merry Christmas, bitches.